Hello! What is up, everyone? Lorwyn Eclipsed is here. I know, no countdown today. We're just jumping right into it because the set finally just went live on Magic Arena. And we're gonna have some fun. I'm actually not sure what we're gonna do today, other than we're gonna open some packs. Because we need some Lorwyn Eclipse cards. I'm curious, though. I'm considering doing a draft, but then I also kind of want to play standard. Although, I don't know. I was gonna ask y'all what you would prefer. Also, we gotta talk about pre-release. That pre-release, though. Wizards. It's still so funny to me that they ended up with the TMNT cards. Hey, what's up, Thornblood? How are you? Christmas 666. Welcome you as well. Good to see you. How is everyone today? Are you enjoying? Hey, what's up, dog? How are you? Good to see ya. Oh, dog, did you send me a package? I got your package, dog. I did. Thank you so much. I haven't opened the booster yet. I wasn't sure if I was gonna do it. I might do it on a video next time I do an opening video. I might throw it in as a little extra. So I was trying to decide, but I definitely appreciate it. Thank you. G Fuel Gold Systems, welcome. Gave up on the timer. So this one's just kind of weird. I still use the timer if the stream is the normal time, but in this case, I was just waiting for the set to go live. So I figured, it's live, let's just jump on. Our timer will be me opening packs. Why is the stream started early? Actually, so we have been streaming an hour earlier than this normally at 11 Eastern time. So it's actually like an hour late today, but I was waiting for Lorwyn Eclipse to go up. Hey, what's up, man? VHS, Galaxy System, Labrador. Can't wait to build the Goblin deck with Champion of the Weird. Yeah, Champion of the Weird is so cool. The Goblin deck was super fun. Hey, what's up, Jay Cullen? How are you? So I'm curious, what do you all want to do? What do y'all want to do today? I'm going back and forth, so we can mess around in standard, try some new Lorwyn Eclipse stuff in standard. I don't know what exactly. I'm intrigued by like Morning Tide's Light. I think that's interesting. We got all the tribal decks. I was also considering just doing a draft because we usually do one draft stream per set, so we could just do draft for today. We're not going to do Mirror Form because Mirror Form is coming tomorrow for Against the Odds. So it's coming. We can't do it today on the stream because it's coming tomorrow on YouTube. But after the Against the Odds goes up, then we can play whatever. And I think Mirror Form, much like Doppelgang, is going to be one of those cards that it's going to show up in a bunch of decks. So we played some Meek Attack on early access. It was interesting. I think it's... Ooh, they're speaking of Meek Attack. There's a Meek Attack right there. The set is pretty wild. The set's super wild. How was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles pre-release for everyone? How was TMNT pre-release? we have not gotten any TMNT cards in our virtual packs yet. I'd like you to draft the TFT set like a paper. That's, oh my goodness. I'm still like, I think there's some chance, and I know they say it wasn't this, and I think that's most likely true, but it would be brilliant marketing, wouldn't it? It would be brilliant marketing if after everyone freaked out about Spider-Man overshadowing Edge of Eternities, if they were just like, you know what, printing company, why don't you just put some of these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cards into these pre-release packs. Yeah, Painter Servant is actually, I've already been messing around with Painter Servant. Oh yeah, Painter Grindstone's coming because for some reason it was already legal. So I already have been working on Painter Servant because for some reason it was legal on Arena like this past weekend. I'm not sure why it ended up legal, but my finals test for school start today. That means if I go to school in a couple hours later and catch the start of the stream. Hey, awesome, Son of Mind Sculptor. Wait, where are you at? Are you in the US? I'm trying to think. In the US, we're just like starting a new semester of school. So doing finals at this time would be weird here, but I'm glad you get to hang out. Y'all, Northampton Farms is the name of a Magic card is crazy. It's just a town in my state. Like TMNT took place in my local neighborhood, basically. I'm losing my mind. Yeah, the TMNT cards. my impression of the TMNT cards, if you haven't seen them yet, I wonder, are they listed? We don't have them on the site yet. We are waiting to see if they actually publish them, which I think if I was Wizards, that's what I would do, is just be like, hey, they're all previewed anyway. Here, we're just going to put them up. They probably can't do that because of the partnerships and whatever. Like, that seems like a possibility. But the TMNT cards, half of them seem like they're from, half of them seem like they're from Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. Like, that's 50% of them. And the other 50% of them are just, like, very cringe. Just... There's no middle ground. It's either like, oh, that could have been in Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, or oh, that's a turtle throwing a pizza at someone's face. There's no in between. There's no in between. New York is the most beloved of all Magic blades. Yeah, I mean, it is another. I will say the New York City in this set that we've seen so far, and we haven't seen the commons. So that's where hot dog cards and so forth could easily show up. So we haven't seen the commons yet. The rares, I will say, the New York City at least looks a little more fantastical than Spider-Man. Like, it's kind of Kamigawa. It's got that, like, future punk type of thing going on, right? The techno punk look a little bit. So at least it doesn't just look like literally you stepped outside your apartment in New York City today. So I think that's an upgrade. I don't know, like, does machines? What is that card name? Oh, yeah, I don't even know what to say. This is a pretty big mistake. And this is the biggest mistake like this we've seen with a Universes Beyond set. And I think that adds an extra layer of just, like, weirdness to it because you have another company that's involved. But how was your pre-release? Was your pre-release impacted by this? Because I was talking to Richard, and Richard, his pre-release, he was like, what did he say? Like, the companion app didn't work, so we couldn't register and start on time. People got the wrong number of packs in their pre-release packs. Then people are opening TMNT cards. Like, it was just like a cascade of errors. But it seemed like the set was beloved and people liked it. Like, through all the issues, the awesomeness of Lorwyn, I think sort of shined through a little bit, which is good news. Hey, what's up, Lavorgi? How are you? So, I forgot about Aftermath. We didn't get any TMNT cards, but we got Avatar. Wow, they just mixed everything together. Part of the strength of the Turtles and IP of the villains is so interesting, which is also true for Spider-Man. Does Wizards just not know how to properly make cards for villain characters? Yeah, my guess on that is... So if you own Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or if you own Spider-Man, and you're going to do a set, you probably want the heroes to shine through, because those are the characters that you're trying to market, right? That's your bread and butter. So I wouldn't be surprised if the, like, focus on the heroes rather than the villains, even though there are some villains, and some of them are pretty cool, but I think the focus, it might just be as simple as that. Like, it's pretty clear that all of this is marketing based. Like, we just got a new season of Fallout, and then we also got new Fallout Secret Lairs, like, launching alongside it. So I think as Wizards is rolling into this and, like, getting more used to it, I think we're going to see more and more. And I don't know how I feel about this. It's so weird because, like, on one hand, like, all Universes Beyond, and all of Magic to some extent, is like a marketing, but it's kind of blatant when it's like launching alongside a show. Are you still going to do TMT spoiler season? Are you going to just wait for the official release? We're waiting to see if Wizards just published everything. The main issue is the cards just they look very janky. Like, it's a lot of, like, the bad spoiler images, so they're going to be hard to put on the site and have, like, decent quality. So we're waiting to see if Wizards this week was like, oh, we're just going to publish everything since it's out there anyway, and then I think we're going to put them on the site. So inbox, but I never check this inbox. Oh, Lorwyn Eclipsed is here. Hey, free packs. Never say no to free packs. Hey, what's up, Olive? How are you? I'm doing wonderfully. So, the question, chat. What do you think? Jank around in Standard, play some Lorwyn Eclipse draft. What do you prefer for our stream today? Maybe, let's see. Can I do a poll? Let's see. Where's the poll? All right. Let's do a poll. See if I can remember how to do this. Not like that. Any chance we play Oko today? I mean, maybe. So here's the issue I have with Oko. Do you have any cool ideas for using Oko? Because my problem, I tried to build around Oko, and whatever I did with Oko, it just ended up looking kind of like a Simic Aboroid Badger Mole Cub deck. Like, because you want Llanowar Elves to ramp into Oko on turn 2, and if you're playing Llanowar Elves, you got to play Badger Mole Cub. And then I was like, well, then I guess you just play Aboroid and Quantum Riddler, and you're like, oh, Oko, make some tokens, and Aboroid grows them. So it felt a little awkward to, like, just slot it into Simic Aboroid. So I don't know, I haven't come up with a sweeter idea that seemed sort of realistic for making Oko actually work. So that's where I'm at with Oko right now. Oh, thank you, dog. So that's where I'm at with Oko. There is a poll up if you'd like to do some voting as to whether we do a draft or whether we jank around in standard. Get your votes in now. The poll is running, and we will do whatever you say, because I mean, over the next weeks, we're going to be doing lots of both. We're going to be janking around. We're going to play playing standard. Tomorrow, for Against the Odds, we have Mirror Form. Oh my god, I love that card. I love that card. I actually think, and I don't want to spoil too much before we get to Against the Odds, but Mirror Form might be a real card. My impression of Mirror Form, man, this poll's ridiculously close. My impression of Mirror Form after playing with it is it might actually be a real card. It looks like an Against the Odds card, but it might actually be a real standard card, which is crazy to me. Definitely not what I was expecting. This is a super close poll. Get your votes in, get your votes in. Anyway, let's do a reminder as the poll's going. Replay YouTube for all your old streams. Normal YouTube tomorrow. First Against the Odds of the new set. Also, I mentioned this before, more paper content coming up. I believe the bracket is going to kick off either next week or the week after, and it's going to be super cool. So keep an eye out for that. A reminder, their sponsor today is Card Kingdom. If you need some magical cards, you can make cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. What'd you play Mirror Form? What did you play with Mirror Form? Permanence. I don't want to spoil too much before we get to the Against the Odds episode, but I think it's a card that there's actually like a lot of ways you can build around it. I saw other people during early access that were let's open one more batch of packs. We're gonna do more wild cards for this Lorwyn Eclipse. We need all these cards. Oh, we have new. You're as wise as a tree folk. Very pranky. Let's do battle. You look different. You scoundrel. Who turned out the lights? Now that's wild magic. Rematch in the Warrens. I can feel myself changing. Oh, Bogarts. All right, I don't know if we're buying those. What about our stickers? Any of these? Okay, that's Reese dissolving. That is a sleeping tree-headed giant, a mind-exploding boar, and angry Kithkin. Do Bossig say with soul immolation, please? How do we send our Tristans to me? Wait, why are you sending me? No. You're gonna send me your oh, wait, why are you sending me your Tristans? I don't know if I want your Tristans. Do you want me to, if you want me to sign them and send them back to you, I'd love to do that. But I don't know that I actually need the Tristans. Watch Tristan be busted. Watch Tristan actually be busted and be like one of the best cards. Actually, let's do this. It'd be one of the best cards from the entire set. I made a Sephiroth-based Demir control with Mirror Form. So here's the thing about Mirror Form. The thing I learned about Mirror Form is I don't actually think you have to do. So you have to build around it in the sense that you need to play a deck that gets permanence on the battlefield. I don't know how much you really need to play a crazy finisher. Like, obviously I did play crazy finishers because that's the fun, is like doing some ridiculous thing. But what I learned about it is like, it's pretty realistic to be like, oh, I play like 3 or 4 permanents, and then there's like a random overlord on the battlefield, and I'm just like, oh, everything's an overlord. Attack with all the overlords, because all this stuff has pseudo haste. Like, turning into something else doesn't make the thing summoning sick again. So if you have Tithing Blades and Momentum Breaks and Nowhere to Runs on the battlefield, you turn them into something, and they all have haste, and you just swing in and kill your opponent. So it actually played way better than I expected it to. Without spoiling, what phase did you find yourself casting? Mirror Form was in response or the end of turn? I would say, like, I would say most often main phase, actually. First main phase is probably the most common time. So first main phase is the most common time to just turn everything into something and then you can like swing and win the game. So that's the most common time. Opponent's end step, also pretty common. And then in response to something does happen, but it doesn't happen all that often. A few times it was like, oh, my opponent's casting a removal and in response I do something. Yeah, the million Sephiroth triggers is hilarious. Like, I think that is a super, super cool finishing idea. No, because I built it the same way Chaos Factor Gaming. I was very concerned with like, okay, like I need cool things to mirror form into, and I still think that's the most fun way to build around it, right? Because we play Magic to do cool, fun things, but from a win-loss perspective, I came away from it feeling like I didn't have to be that focused on the finishers in the end, because actually, like, copying anything is enough, and that's what kind of sold me on mirror form actually being a good card. So. Well, it looks like poll-wise, we're going to do some janking around in Standard. How much pull do we have with Wizards to convince them to give us showcase art for the new Marlin? Ooh, not that much pull. not that much pull. I ran you on a raid playing Painter Servant. Hey, yes, Noble Rooster. I was wondering if that was you. Because you never know with arena usernames. But when you said hello, I was like, wait a minute, is this the Noble Rooster that I know? Yeah, I think Painter Servant might actually be kind of a real card. I made a custom card for you. It's based on our conversation last stream. I use an edit made on Reddit. My favorite reaction you had is the art. It is from when you lost your hand to Thought Distortion. Oh god, that game. When you lost your hand to Thought Distortion, when you were playing Grim Mono Green Hugin and Pioneer. What do you think of the card? And could I send you a physical copy? Saffron's Command. Oh, that's pretty good there. It's pretty good. 4-mana Jeskai, choose 2. Target land becomes a mountain. That's actually like a sweet ability. I don't know if Wizards would actually print it, but that's like an interesting way of doing land destruction, right? Like, you don't get all the lands. You don't actually even blow up the land, but you could still turn, like a Tron piece or something into a mountain and throw off the Tron deck. Target player draws the cards, copy target activator trigger ability, can choose new targets, exile target creature, you can turn the card to the battlefield under its owner's control. I hope they make a card like this, because that card is actually super cool, and I actually think that it would be like, that would probably be fair, right? Like, none of this seems overpowered. It's a bunch of like 1 and 2 mana modes thrown together, so I think you might actually be able to get away with that. Mungala, hey, what's up, Frost? Mungala, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. Did you watch the newest Distraction Makers video about Hexing Squelcher? Was it a few days ago? I saw one a few days ago where they were talking about Hexing Squelcher. I still don't really see why people are freaking out that much about it. I still think it is. When we were doing the podcast with Chapin last week, we were talking about it, and Chapin was like, I think it's the most overrated card in the set. And I'm like, oh, I mean, I don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's the freak out that everyone has had about it. I don't know if you saw, I saw this video, man, this one got me thinking. It was this video that someone made, and it was about booster openings, and I'm still like, I think it's probably a conspiracy theory, but at the same time, it could be marketing. There's so many things with Withers where it's like, is it a conspiracy theory? Is it marketing? But it was on like how ambassadors opened a ton of like fractured foils in their boxes, like way more than people who are not ambassadors, and wondering like, do they get special boxes? Does Wizards like somehow hook up people that they know are going to do opening videos to get better boxes so they can have the fractured foils show up on screen or something, like without the people opening the boxes even knowing? I was like, I'd never even thought about that. I guess I don't think that's likely. It's probably just variance, but I guess that could be like a marketing strategy, but I never even thought of that before. Yeah, Distraction Maker has been one of my favorite recent new podcasts. The podcast talking about bringing back promos for events. I want promos of the talents and maybe horrors. They're all single color and most are playable. Yeah, how was pre-release with no promos? Did we open a whole playset of Morning Tides? I'm also kind of addicted to Morning Tides Light. I feel like the decks I've built around Morning Tides Light, I just don't know how they stand up against like the current meta is my concern. But the idea of like just like playing Helpful Hunters and playing Gallant Citizens and drawing cards, and then you blink them all, maybe you got a Shocking Sharpshooter, maybe you got a Wefstucker Ardent, you burn your opponent out of the game. I don't know how realistic Do you think this deck could win? Could this deck actually win? Yeah, the Gary Campbell video was kind of a tearjerker for me too. So what are we gonna play today? So the poll says we're gonna play constructed. I know. You know what I want to try? I put this deck together. I was thinking it might be an against the odds deck. What do you think about trying this deck? So the idea of this deck, I just built it this morning. I've played zero games with it. So the idea of this deck, it's an Aurora Awakener deck. You remember Aurora Awakener, our friend from early access. But the idea is to build an Aurora Awakener deck where you cast a single Aurora Awakener and hopefully put your entire deck into play with haste. So the idea is you have Leyline of the Guild Pack to make everything all colors. You get a bunch of ramp so you can get to Aurora Awakener. And then the trick is we have a bunch of clones in the deck. Naga Fleshcrafter, Omni Changeling. So we can Aurora Awakener. We can spin into a clone to copy Aurora Awakener. We can spin into a clone to copy Aurora Awakener. Hopefully put literally our entire deck into play. And as we put literally our entire deck into play, we find a Frostcliff Siege to give everything trample and haste, hopefully at the very end of the chain, and then we swing in and our opponent dies. I don't know that that is actually going to work, but that's the theory. I thought of a plan with Oko, using it with Mox Jasper to ramp into dragons. Ooh, that could be sweet. You want to try it? All right, let's try it. We can always try it. We'll try some other things too. I don't know. I wanted to see if this deck even works. It might be horrible, but it'll be funny. If we do the thing a single time, I think it'll be funny. It might be an against the odds deck. I don't know. You don't know until you try it. So how was pre-release outside of the TMNT stuff? Did you have fun? Like, how was Lorwyn Eclipsed? Oh, we spent a couple $100 on packs, so hopefully, oh yeah, see, I was already Painter Servanting in Timeless. I think Painter Servant's probably legit in Timeless, actually. I think it is probably a real deck. 3-0 with Green Black Elves, nice. Was everyone playing tribal decks? I kind of envision, with how this set is designed, that a lot of people would end up playing decks, like tribal decks around a creature type. Get a serious injury, had to skip. Oh, I'm sorry, Chaos Gaming. That's rough. Oh, Twitch chat not on stream. Wait a minute. Oh, oops. There we go. I was in the wrong setting on OBS. Yeah, I don't know if you saw Gavin did a video about why they got rid of pre-release promos. I don't know about getting rid of the pre-release promos, but Gavin's argument or thought from Wizards' perspective, it seemed like it boiled down to they didn't think people cared about them that much, and vendors had expressed that having too many versions of cards was annoying and hard for them to like keep things in stock essentially. So they got rid of pre-release promos. I don't know how much, like, yes, that's probably true, although that might be part of it, but I still think that money's got to be one of the bottom line. I think everything comes down to money when it comes to corporations. Companion app crashed Friday. LGS employees were forced to go back to printing seeding for round 1 and round 2. Yeah, that's what Richard said too. His pre-release had the same thing happen. Caustic Exile. Oh boy. Oh well, this might be bad. The fact that there's a Clarion Conqueror is really bad news for us. Well, let's Badger Molcub and fire up the starting town. I almost wonder if this is a deck where you just have to mulligan mulligan relatively aggressively. Man, I'm gonna cry. I might actually cry. I might cry. This Clarion Conqueror is just going to literally end our lives. Bloom Tender, starting town, to ya. We would have so much mana if it wasn't for this Clarion Conqueror. Yeah, there's a Clarion Conqueror. Well, wow, that's so bad. Oh my goodness, that's bad for us. Well, let's play a Formidable Speaker. I don't think there's anything we can tutor up that kills this, though. We can clone it. We can clone it. Well, I mean, I guess we're gonna take Aurora Awakener and see if we ever get to it. I don't know if we do. We need to draw some sort of removal spell. Yeah, we were so close. If they didn't have this Clearing Conquer, it wouldn't be a good Aurora Awakener, but it would be an Aurora Awakener. Do you think the new evoke elementals were designed in the way they were because of them H2 elementals? Do you miss being able to blink them with their ETB? Yes, and yes, but it was probably the right choice, if that makes sense. So I do think that they designed them very specifically after the scamming issues in Modern. I think they designed them very... Wow, this is going to go so... But this is like a stack. We're getting dragon stacks. Well, there's our one basic. We are getting... We need to draw Awaken the Honor Dead, like right now. Maybe, you know what? I think our only game plan is just swing with everything. Like, all these mana dorks, kill our Badger Mole Cub. Our lands don't do anything anyway. Hit you down to 11. Do they work with airbending? Yes, if you have the right colors of mana. So, like, as long as you spend the colors of mana on them, they would work. So if you play them... Oh, this might just be a very bad matchup. So if you play them and then airbend them, as long as you spend the colors of mana to cast the spell, you'll get the trigger. So you could airbend it, pay double white or whatever, and get a trigger, double black, get a trigger. So that's like one of the shenanigans. But yeah, I think that they didn't want people to be able to scam them. And I do miss, like, that's one of the cool synergies. Like, even before the MH3 stuff, like Evoke Muldrifter, Blink a Muldrifter, that's just like a cool synergy, right? So I think it's kind of sad to see some cool synergies not there anymore, but I do think for the sake of standard, I think you probably got to do it, because I think it would potentially be very bad if you could actually just blink them in standard. It might be too dominant. It's a bummer the Parallax side got banned in Modern before you get a chance to play it. I know. I think it was probably smart to ban it, but I'm kind of sad. It got banned before I got a chance to play with it, because it seemed like it would be so cool. The deck, the one time I played against it, it looks exactly like something I would like playing. What else can we cut? So we need removal. We need removal because we got to be able to kill the stacks pieces. Maybe we go down the TAM. Maybe we have to cut like a formidable speaker. Maybe something like that. All right, let's try it like that. I think pre-modern is a lot of interesting decks. Yeah, for sure. Send me an email, Joe. I would saffronallo@mtggoldfish.com. Ooh, we're gonna mulligan. Well, there's our ley lines. We found the ley lines and the removal. Not much else going on with this hand, but we found the ley lines. Well, let's Cavern on Druid. And let's draw some lands, maybe? I don't know. Apparently they hadn't banned anything in pre-modern in like several years. So I think it makes sense to change things up. I think if anything, I think pre-modern is probably going to have more bannings because of it being on Magic Online. I feel like one thing I'm not sure that people who have been playing it in paper for a long time maybe fully appreciate is how much faster the world moves on Magic Online, if that makes sense. Like, there's just so many more games being played that things are going to be broken and things are going to end up needing to be banned much more quickly. Oh, about it, land. I figured out what I'm going to play in my CDH tournament in San Francisco this weekend. It's a list from Critical EDH Krong Rongsy. Well, all right, opponent's going to blow up our land. We will kill the Hellkite. This is not going well. Which Lorwyn Eclipse? Oh no! Which Lorwyn Eclipse tribe are you most hyped for? If our opponent has another one of those land destruction dragons, we probably scoop. I don't know how the first hand would have been good, but oh my god, Bonehook Dragosaur. And nowhere to run does not kill it. That does not kill it. Well, okay, GG. Opponent's just playing dragons and it's working. Tree Folk, man, one of the things that makes me sad about this set is it really should have been 2 sets. There's no way they would ever sign off on it, I'm sure, but it really should have been 2 sets, because I feel like Tree Folk is one of my favorite tribes in the set, but I'm not sure we got enough support to make a tree folk deck. It's like some of the tribes got the limited focus, so you actually have enough cards to build a deck out of them. And then some of the tribes, oh boy, double Dracosaur, yeah, that's, well, that's gonna do it. That is gonna do it. Opponent passes. We draw land, and we scoop it up. Half the Mirror article was on how they could justify making only one set. I think if there's an issue with the set, it feels crunched. I love the set. I love it, love it, love it. But I was looking through the set today, and I was like, man, it feels like it could use more space, if that makes sense. Like, you could flesh out some of the lesser tribes a little bit, maybe. Like the tree folk that didn't get a ton of support. Some of the other, like, giants didn't really get enough support to build a giant deck, even though there's some giants. This is one of the sets that made me wish it was like 2-set block era. On the other hand, if we had to do 2-set blocks of like Spider-Man or Turtles or something, I would be very sad. So it is kind of a double-edged sword. When it's a set I like, I'm like, oh, I wish I had 2 sets. But then when it's a set I don't like, I'm like, oh, I'm glad there's not 2 sets. Do we even have enough tree folk for a commander deck? So there are a lot of tree folk in Magic's history. So I think there are enough. Let me see the actual number on Scryfall. I think there are enough. Yeah, 116 tree folk in Magic's history. Although, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like 7. We got 7 in Lorwyn Eclipsed. So definitely not enough to really build a... I mean, I guess you could play all 7 of them. Great Forest Druid's fine. Doran's fine. The rest of them... I think Moonlit Lamenter is the closest of the rest of them for me to think it's something that could actually, like, sort of be playable. But yeah, it's light. It would be hard to build an actual tree folk tribal deck. Well, okay. We have the Aurora. All right, we'll try this. We got an Aurora Awakener. We do not have a Leyline. But we can Formidable Speaker. I feel like Formidable Speaker might just break standard. We're playing in a very janky way, but I feel like Formidable Speaker in Spectacular Spider-Man has to be incredibly busted. Found it. Spyglass Siren. I'm excited to return to Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings, I think, was such a good set that, yeah, we're just going to seam rip it. Lord of the Rings was such a good set that it has me hyped for the possibilities of The Hobbit. Yeah, I updated everything. We're back. We're out of Avatar era. We're back. We're back to Flibblethip. A rules question. What is your rules question, Alpha Wolf? Huh. Well, that's Formidable Speaker. Discard the Flesh Crafter. And I think we just get a Badger Mole Cub. Get the Badger Mole Cub. Play Multiversal Passage on... Huh. Yeah, I guess black, so we have our colors. We still want to be able to play Leyline if we draw it. Lord of the Rings was a really good draft format. I'm worried that The Hobbit will feel very samey, general kind of cards as Lord of the Rings. Honestly, I think I want it to feel samey, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know. Lord of the Rings felt good enough to me that I kind of would be fine with them just running it back. I actually think just running it back would be pretty good. Okay, so the new Is It Dragon in TMNT can, outside the game, be a card you own in exile. So it cannot. So outside the game, as far as competitive Magic rules, it is specifically from your sideboard. So we can see this on Karn the Great Creator. Karn the Great Creator says you can choose an artifact you own from outside the game or in exile. So the fact that they had to put or in exile on there kind of shows that outside the game and in exile are not the same thing. So it works with Karn because it specifically says from exile, but yes, it does not work overall. Opponent getting in with the Preacher of the Schism, sure. Kaido, pick up Preacher. Wow. All right, I'm kind of okay with that. Like, if you got a ninjutsu off your 3-drop, the sneaks up from TMNT seems pretty good. I don't think they can print it into standard. I don't think you can actually print. I think it would be too bust. Oh my god, that's Cavern. So Cavern on Druid. But right now we have, what, 2 colors of permanence? That's not a ton. How do we do this? So we Aurora Awakener. We Aurora Awakener for 2 and just hope? That seems so... You know what? I think we do it. It doesn't feel great, but I think we do it. All right, yeah, Aurora Awakener. No Leyline. Spin it to win at 2 permanents. Well, there's the Leyline. So get a Leyline to the guild pack. Get a breeding pool. Tapped. Hit the Kaido. Hit the Kaido. I mean, okay. Okay, next turn. 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 Come on. Don't kill the Awakener. Don't scoop. Ah! Goose! Goose! We wanted to do a cool thing. Oh. Right now we are. We're janking around with the Aurora Awakener, but we might try some tribal decks too. I don't know what how are you, chicken guy? What have y'all been brewing? I could see like a reference to Bowmasters, like maybe something like the Rebalance version could work. I think it's the same with the One Ring. I don't think you... Hey, Stone Rain! I don't think you could put the One Ring into Standard. Like, we couldn't put the One Ring into Modern. There's no way we can... There's no way we can put it into Standard. That would be ridiculous. You're so right, I just used Mirror Form. Yeah, that was... I thought... Yeah, that's what blew my mind with it during Early Access Day. Is like, the fact that you... I was so focused on like, oh, I need Demonic Pack, so I'm going to turn everything to a Demonic Pack and get him with the Demonic Pack. Or like playing Nexus to Becoming. I'm going to turn everything into Nexus to Becoming and draw all the cards and make all these tokens. And it's really cool and fun, but from a win-loss perspective, it often felt unnecessary to some extent. Where it's like, oh, you played an Aboroid. Oh, I guess I make everything Aboroids and you die. But that's what convinced me that the card could actually be competitive. Like, I think it might actually be... As weird as it sounds, it might actually be like a real competitive card. We need to sideboard though real quick. So what is good? We're playing Demir. I don't know about these mismatch Bloom Tenders. So maybe we got a 1 Formidable Speaker, 1 Omni Changeling. Go up a Shoot the Sheriff, a Detect Intrusion. I kind of would like a Riddler just to have a little more card draw. And let's just run it like that. Would you be up for a Goldfish X Wizard Secret Lair collab? If yes, with or without original cards? Ooh. Ooh. I mean, if Wizards asked me to be in a Secret Lair, I think I would say yes, because it would just be cool to be on a Magic card. I mean, I think as much as it's tempting to be like, okay, I want to make that, like, the card that we saw earlier, the Saffron Olive's Command or something, as cool as it would be to have a card like that. Do we actually just keep... Yeah, we're going to mulligan this. All right, we'll try this. As cool as it would be to have a card like that, I think on principle, I gotta say, it's gotta be a reprint. Like, I don't like unique Secret Lair cards, and it would be pretty hypocritical, I think, to be anti-unique Secret Lair cards, and then if Wizards like, hey, would you like a Secret Lair drop? Making yourself a unique Secret Lair card. Oh, a full creator set would be interesting. That actually would be interesting. Are they playing counters? Probably. Let's just Bloom Tender. I feel like this deck, oh man, if we could always have Leyline, this deck would be so spicy. Ooh, Bitter Blue Bear. So as you know, I play Star Wars, and we're about to have our first rotation. They just spoiled a Wrath that deals damage to your opponent equal to the number of creatures destroyed, basically. It's wild. Ooh, wow, that's almost... That's almost the Spider-Man card. Isn't Villainous Wrath? It's only your opponent's creatures, but still. That is kind of similar. Well, let's play Starting Town. I think we just... let's see. Ouch. 1, 2. Play Badger Mole Cub. I wonder if Changelings are actually just good. Because cards are so powerful now, maybe Changelings are just good. So we turn on the land. So that taps for 2.
The more I look at pre-modern, the more it reminds me of competitive Pokemon battles, where every 3 or 4 years there's a new set of games with new mechanics and power, and people will go back to play the old generations. Pre-modern to me feels like that.
Ooh. Interesting. We have a new donation from the Mega Magikarp who is tired. I'm sorry, Mega Magikarp, that you're tired at the moment. We're gonna Formidable Speaker. How much mana do we have? 1, 2, 3. We gotta go. We're gonna take it. Aurora Awakener. We're gonna show you what we're trying to do, opponent. We're trying to cast that. The more I look at pre-modern, the more it reminds me of a competitive Pokemon battle. So I don't know much about Pokemon battles. We're every 3 or 4 years. Wow, really? Killing that. Where every 3 or 4 years, there's a new set of games with a new mechanic and power, and people go back and play the old generations. Pre-modern feels like that to me. So I don't know much about Pokemon battles, but it sounds like you're pretty right based on how you're describing it. Oh no. Well, we are kind of far away from doing much at the moment. Tabland go. I mean, our opponent also doesn't have anything going on, but if they stick a Kaido or something, life becomes relatively bad very quickly. Now, Multiversal Passage. Blue, white, red. I think we just go black. I mean, 2 more mana and we get to Aurora Awakener. The Great Destroyer. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. All right, one more. We're getting there. Being the Cavern would be nice. We have a single Cavern of Souls. It would be a good time to draw it. Well, that's actually not the worst of a resolve. Siege on Trample and Haste. That's pretty nice because that's 2 more colors. Oh, starting. Okay, starting. Now, next turn we can try to do the thing. Opponent untaps. Oh, I feel like they're gonna have a counter. They're gonna have a counter. We got to go for it though. Aurora Awakener. Come on, opponent. No counters. Ooh, Essence Scatter. Do you wish there were more reprints in standard sets rather than saving them for bonus sheets or special guests? Well, let's play Alana War. Now I got the fear. Now I got the fear of running out this Aurora Awakener. Heartless Act. Sure. Yeah, we gotta pass. We can't do it. Opponent. Tishan. Well, Tishan's Sidebinder. That would have stifled us. Opponent. Land. Combat hits us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, okay. Kaido pick up the Tidebinder. That's not good. That's also not good. Opponent gonna draw with the Kaido. Oh, we're so close. Opponent draws. Surveils. Leaves him on top. Another Frostcliff Siege. Well, alright, put him on card draw mode. 1 of each. Opponent gonna run out the Tidebinder. I mean, at some point we're just gonna have to go for it and hope. Opponent hits us. And I mean, this is gonna be the turn, but they probably are just sitting on another counter that we can't do anything about. Cavern, we need a Cavern. Opponent, Spyglass Siren. So I land 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, all right, here we go. We're up tab land, so we can pay the 2. Aurora Awakener resolves. Spin it to win it. Opponent. Wow. And life is over. And an opponent's in a good game. Oh boy. I wish they would I wish they would print new, more reprints into actual standard. The power level is so ridiculously high that you can really reprint pretty much anything. Like if you go back to original Lorwyn, original Lorwyn, that whole block, Lorwyn, Eventide, Shadowmoor, outside of maybe a random like land destruction spell that just goes against Wizards' modern sensibilities, I think you could reprint like literally any card, right? I think you could take the special guest sheet and put it into standard. Is having Golem's Gate in standard gonna mess anything up? Like maybe Thoughtseize might be walking the line. Even that, with the current power creep, I'm not sure if it would be. Like it might actually be a positive. Cryptic Command, sure, whatever. 4-mana counterspell. So I think they could do more. I hope they do more as far as putting actual reprints into standard, because I think they're fun. Hey all, I have a new deck to show you. I've been really struggling on building decks recently, but here's what I think is funny, and every single spell ramps in one way. Ooh, that's a fun idea, Autism. Oops, all ramp. You have some unique, I mean, making mana is ramp. I like the creativity. The creativity of the creative outburst, you might say, of unique ways to ramp. That's a cool idea, Autism. I like it. Ah, Demir. Friggin' Demir. All right, run it back. Well, yeah, I know they reprinted a lot of special guests. I feel like they could put more of those things into standard. The question that was originally asked was, could they put more of those cards into standard? And I think the answer is yes. Like, I think we did get Bloom Tender, but I think you could do more. But I think there's a balancing act, because, like, let's say we go to Lorwyn Eclipse, and, like, a decent chunk of the chase cards are old Lorwyn cards. Does that make you happier or sadder? Do you come away from that being like, oh, cool, I remember that from 20 years ago? Or do you come away from that being like, oh, that's 10 slots that are not cool new cards. Instead it's these old cards. It's 10 slots that aren't, being used on some innovative new design. I'm not sure. I think that's the balancing act. That Wizards has to do, right? Like, hey Seth, is there going to be an Against the Odds Brawl deck featuring Sinar as a commander? I mean, maybe. Maybe. I don't know if I make it do something interesting. When it comes down to it, that is always the question. Like, can I do something cool with the card? If I can, then I will make videos of it. If I can't, then I don't know if I will. I just don't know. Sinar I feel like Sinar as a commander is like especially rough because it's only 2 colors, so you kind of cap its ability. 2 cards. So it almost seems better as a 5-color commander in the 99, but Pwnit gonna take one of the seam rips. Pwnit. Gonna go to combat. Going to pass. Well, we will play Formidable Speaker. Discard the Flesh Crafter. Get a Badger Mole Cub. Hit you for 3. Plus, Frostcliff Siege is quite a card, actually. Sinar needs just 3 non-land cards to win. Wait, what is this sneaky Sinar plan, Nitro? Oh, that's interesting. Well, let's do it this way. Let's pay 1. Pay 1, seam rip. Get rid of the Deep Cavern Bat. Get back the seam rip. Play a Bloom Tender. Actually, maybe we want 4 Frostcliff Siege. Frostcliff feels so good. Like, even our mana dorks coming down with haste seems very powerful. Well, Pwnit gonna do some countering. Well, we will smack you with the speaker down to 10. Pwnit untaps. Well, opponent's keeping us from doing any cool things, but we're kind of not losing. Opponent requiting Hex on top. Another Fleshcrafter, eh? Well, let's play a Badger Mole Cub. Opponent, I'm gonna try to keep countering. Alright, sure. Well, in that case, we will Seam Rip. Get rid of your Spyglass Siren, hit you to 7. If our opponent's gonna counter our stuff and not let us do cool things, we're just going to try to beat them down. Opponent's at 7. They have a Hex, but it can only kill a land. Opponent thinking, passing, we draw a land. Well, let's Breeding Pool. Untapped. Formidable Speaker. Discard a Fleshcrafter. Tutor up a... Man, is it just Badger Mole again? It's always Badger Mole. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I mean... Yeah. I think it's Badger Mole again. Get a Badger Mole. And go to combat and hit you. Opponent going to Hex the land. Are they doing this pre-combat? I guess it doesn't actually matter. All right, combat. 6 ya. Down 2-1. And opponent, the Frostclef Siege has been ridiculous. And opponent, all right, I will say, opponent's just a GG'er. So the GG after game 2, I guess they just GG all the time. Spellster, I think, is very good. Yeah, the Frostclef Siege, it is like a ritual with haste. We might want more Frostclef Sieges in this deck. Like, maybe Frostclef Siege is actually what this deck's about. So my question for this deck is, like, you know, let's play a couple more games. Let's play a couple more games, and then we can make changes. But Frostclef Siege does seem really, really, really good. It does seem very good. Yeah, I feel I can look at the inbox again. Isn't most of it just like announcements that I don't need? Or are all the notifications actually them giving me something? I mean, this hand can make some mana, I guess. Well, we'll try it. We'll try it. I don't think we can cut the, like... I don't think the deck works without Leyline. Like, the Aurora Awakener, like, we just... If you're putting 1 or 2 permanents into play, I think it's just, like, very bad. But maybe if we could up our, like, enough Frostclef Sieges and other similar enchantments, maybe there's a world where we could do it that way and make it work. That might be possible. I wish we could. I wish we could make white mana. Well, let's play Formidable. Formidable Speakers felt very, very, very good. So play the Speaker. Opponent's going to stifle the trigger, okay. Play land. Replay the Llanowar. And more Llanowars. And opponent gonna pass. Well, that's good. That's very good. So now we can play this. I think we have to go blue. This means we still don't have white mana, but I think it's worth it. Because now we can play Bloom Tender. Bloom Tender. And this sets us up so if our opponent has a Boroid, we can Fleshcrafter the Boroid, which would be huge. Checking out the tournaments in California, and this one caught my eye. Very diverse top 16. Well, there's the Boroid. Yup. And opponent grows the stuff. And opponent gets in. I mean, maybe we just lose anyway. Frostcliff Siege. So we can Flashcraft or a Boroid. But we still can't cast our stuff. Yeah, we still just die. Oh, standard. Standard. That is a very diverse top 16, that's for sure. How is the CDH world at this point? So how do we realistically stop? I mean, I guess we just have to try to bring in more removal. Boroid. Man, a Boroid. I just want to see this deck pop off once. Can we get the against the odds win one time? So I guess it's either bring in more removal or we just try to be faster than our opponent. I don't know how realistic that actually is. Maybe we bring in a bit more removal, but not all of it. Maybe it's something like that. Yeah, let's try it like that. What are your thoughts, Seth? Foundations did well with reprints, and here's a crazy thought. Drop a UB set in favor of a reprint set like Master Set into Standard. They don't need to be as user-friendly as Foundations, but it could be a great way to shake up the format without needing a specific plane. That would have been a good place to name Through the Omen Pass, and not for Spider-Man. That is true. That would have been a good place for a Through the Omen Pass set. Oh, one land, eh? One land. No Leyline. All right. Well, this we're going to try. Once again, only one land, but we do start with a Leyline, which means we can make mana with our Llanowar Elves. All right, can we get to Aurora Awakener? We got the Leyline down. This might be the time. Bone it. Llanowar Elves. Passes. We draw a Breeding Pool. Well, we will play a Llanowar Elves. Play a Breeding Pool. Do we kill the Elves? Or do we have to wait for a Badger Mole? Or an Aboroid? I feel like this is a tough spot. Yeah, that reminds me, Badger, kind of old core sets that used to be all reprints. And I think Wizards, I like sets like that, but Wizards, I think, said they moved away from them because those sets were not as popular. So I think that's kind of the balancing act. Like, I would enjoy it. We would enjoy it. Is it going to be popular enough for everyone to enjoy, or for Wizards to want to do? That would be the big question. We might have to just kill Leyweaver. Yeah, I think we kill the Leyweaver. That card is very good. Formidable Speaker. Okay, that could be good in the future. We don't want to discard Aurora Awakener, though. Come on, no Aboroids. No Aboroids. Of course, a Boroid. Always a Boroid. Opponent passes. Well, Formidable Speaker. Discard a Formidable Speaker. Get a Badger Mole Cub. But we can't get it down this turn. So we need to... Oh, we need to live 2 more turns? I don't know if that's possible with a Boroid out. Oh my god, and that's game. Well, yeah, that does it. That does it. Bloom Tender over Cub. I mean, so Bloom Tender would make 5 mana if it lives. Badger Mole Cub makes currently 3 extra mana. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's better just to go with Bloom Tender. I guess none of it really matters because a Boroid is broken. I think Badger Mole Cub's just like a better card. What do you guys think of the best limited format to play this week to get cards as free to play? So I think Useless Lloyd. I think you definitely. Well, I would recommend playing Lorwyn Eclipse since it's. Oh man! All right, we'll try it. We'll try it. We don't have the Leyline. I would say Lorwyn Eclipse since it's the newest set. Oh no, is this control? And we're gonna draw all the nowhere to ruds. It looks that way. Uh-oh. Super excited to try this standard Storm deck. Looking against odds in an Infinite Storm Enabler. Huh? Infinite Storm in Standard? Really? Infinite Storm in Standard. Turbo Spells. So we're trying to use Ember Island Production. Wait, everything is legendary. Wait, what are... So I know Sorcerer Schemes can loop with stuff. Wait, how... Oh, it gets around the legend rule. I see. I see. So opponent passes. Oh, boy. Well, we draw Breeding Pool. Well, let's play a Breeding Pool. I don't know if we get to resolve a spell this game. Let's play Formidable Speaker. So let me see if I can figure out what this deck's trying to do. So I know it said Infinite Storm. So when you cast a spell, if you have at least 4 mana with spent on create a treasure token. So the idea is to stack up like as many Electros and Promptos as possible, and then cast expensive spells. So if you can get like 4 or 5 of these on the battlefield, that is, I mean, if you can pull it off, that would be absolutely hilarious. I think the idea is super funny. It seems tough to actually get like several copies. I mean, I have a hard time getting a single creature on the battlefield in Standard while being alive. So I think it definitely seems it gets odds. Opponent gonna counter our stuff, sure. Well, get in and hit ya. That is a super fun idea. Ember Island Production's not a card that I've thought much about, but maybe it has more potential than I thought. Are we even casting anything here? Is there even a point? Go to combat, get in, hit ya. Down to 16. Play a Formidable Speaker. Sorcerer Schemes plus Spell Color Protection. Spell Color Protection. So Sorcerer Schemes. Oh. So you need a Ral emblem. Oh, okay. So if you can get a Ral, yeah. So it's like 1,000-Year Storm kind of thing. So, oh, that's cool. So yeah. So if you can ultimate Ral, I mean, if you can pull it off, it's gonna be hilarious. That sounds super spectacular, Chaos Factory. It does sound super spectacular. Have you got to play with it much yet? Boy, this match. Well, let's play a Frostcliff Siege to get countered. Alright. Well, it resolved for now. Get in with a Formidable Speaker. Bound it down to 13. Oh, it. Consult the star chart. It's going to draw some more cards. Oh, did you mean what format to play? Oh. Well, probably one of the best of 1 formats, I think, is probably better than the best of 3 formats. It probably also depends on how much limited experience you have. If you're brand new, then playing the bot drafts. I feel like, are the bot drafts still a great way to get a ton of cards? Wow. All right, opponent going to Day of Judgment to blow up the Formidable Speaker. And passes the turn. Well, we're going to play a Leyline of the Guild Pact. Pass the turn. These clones are not looking too hot in hand against the control deck. Oh, about it. Oh boy, Meringue River Regent. We might have to move on to another deck. I think this might... My impression was it was an against the odds deck, and now that we've played it a bit, it's seeming definitely like an against the odds deck. So we might have to switch this one up and do some rebrewing and save it for YouTube, where we can do a bit of editing. Because I feel like this might be one where we're winning like 20% of the time, but it's really cool. Cut a clone for a superior Spider-Man. Ooh. But what would... Bone it. Gonna bounce all of our stuff. And pass. Well, let's play a Frostcliff Siege. On haste. Play a Bloom Tender. Pass the turn. Picture drafts are a gateway to build the set. 2 wins gets you 800 gems. Entry is only 900. Bounce it between 2 or 3 wins. Jeskai Revelation, good enough. I don't think it... I mean, Control's definitely not the matchup we're hoping for. That's for sure. Because they can just counter everything. But I feel like it shouldn't be that hard to actually pull off in a Badger Mold Cub deck, right? Like, it shouldn't be. I guess the challenge is you're a Badger Mold Cub deck that also requires you to mulligan into a Leyline, which I guess just makes you even more consistent than another Badger Mold Cub deck. I mean, Control's like a tier deck. The meta is essentially... I mean, this is a good hand. I don't know if it works in this map. Man, this hand... Against Control, we could really not ask for more than this. Like, we start with a Leyline. We have a Bloom Tender. And we have a Cavern of Souls. We literally could not ask for more. We could not ask for more. A removal spell on the Bloom Tender is still going to make it kind of sad. Opponent, Authority of the Consuls, sure. Well, let's play a Overgrown Tomb. Play a Bloom Tender. Opponent gains some life. Get in, hit you. Down to 18. Opponent, land. And found a Get Lost. Oh, bummer. Well, play the land on Druid. Play another Leyline of the Guild Pact. Crack a map. We can try again next turn. Okay, we'll keep the counter. Pass the turn. Opponent. Come on. How about no removal for 1 turn? Tap land. Can we just cast Aurora Awakener, please? Found it. Mills a flat. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. This is our shot. This is our shot. This is what we've been waiting for. Okay. We need to make it... oh, no. Okay, we need to make it uncounterable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We don't even need that blue, right? 2, 4. All right, here we go. Here we go. If it's ever going to work, this is our shot. I guess we should crack a map. So we know what's on top of our deck. I mean, the problem we're going to run into... Hey, that is perfect. All right, Aurora Awakener. Spin it to win it. The problem we're going to run into is they do have Authority of the Console, so we can't literally win the game. But we should be able to put our entire deck into play. So, Aurora Awakener, starting down. Bloom Tender, Flash Crafter, copy the Aurora Awakener. Oh, an opponent scoops it up. We did it, though. We did it against the control deck. So that the ceiling is there. Like... the ceiling is there to potentially just win the game on turn 3. Weird question for it. We didn't make colorless mana? Or we didn't make cavern mana? Really? Huh. I mean, I clicked the cavern. It's weird with Leyline out because you have like 15 different options. Because you can tap it for anything with Leyline, you can tap it for anything with cavern. I thought we clicked the cavern, but apparently not. Weird question. Have you ever seen someone with a sword try to fight someone with a spear? I mean, I'm trying to think, maybe in like a movie or something, but not that I can think of. I imagine the spear wins, right? It's gotta be that the spear wins. But I clicked on the one that said Cavern of Souls. I mean, I guess in the end it didn't really matter, so that's the good news. Oh, the worst time to draw the Leyline. The brutal Leyline on turn 2. Well, all right. Tap line, go. Voice of Victory for our opponent. Well, play land and run out of Badger Molcub. So Voice of Victory just means we cannot ever win a counter war against our opponent. It's not great. Found it, getting in with the Voice of Victory. Down to 18. Opponent passes. I'll play the land. And I mean, yeah, we're gonna run out the Leyline. Alright, there's the counter. Get in, hit ya. Oh, about it. Getting in with the Voice of Victory. Oh, yeah, down to 14. Well, let's play a Flesh Crafter. Copy the Voice of Victory. Give our opponent a little taste of their own medicine. Get in, hit you with the Badger Molcub. All right. Well, now our opponent can't cast counters during our turn, which is nice, until they kill the Voice of Victory. Wow, Mill's a removal spell. Maybe our opponent's just gonna Wrath. That would also make sense. Found it. Getting in with the Voice. Well, we will block. Down to 11. And there's the Wrath. Our opponent's gonna Day of Judgment. Sweep the board. What color do we need this on? Green, blue, green, anything. I guess we go red? I don't know if it super matters. Formidable Speaker. Well, play Formidable Speaker. The Changeling clone is a little expensive if you draw it. Are we gonna see any brawl? I mean, we will definitely have more brawl at some point. I don't have any brawl that's like coming up in the next week or anything, but we'll definitely have more brawl at some point in the future. It's one of those formats that we get to relatively regularly, not as much as like standard and modern, but pretty frequently we do some brawling. What's the coolest new thing to do in brawl with Lorwyn Eclipsed? TMNT. Well, I mean, we gotta go for it. Formidable Speaker. Opponent. A firm believer in the power of counter spells. Well, play a Tam. Get in, hit ya. Do I play competitive brawl? Did I play the competitive brawl event at all? I didn't play the competitive brawl event when it was up. I was interested in it. It's something I would try at some point. Although, I don't know how much I'd enjoy it. Like, maybe it would be fun. I heard it was pretty busted. Like, My impression of it, it was basically all just one deck. And I think that didn't sound like the most appealing format. So I don't know. How was competitive brawl? I heard that it was mostly like, I don't know, 70% just a Johnny. Like it was a South format essentially, that it was clear what the best deck was, and you just played against a Johnny every time. About it. I'm gonna play a Sacred Foundry and pass. And that part didn't sound that appealing. Well, let's play a Temple Garden. Untapped. Go to combat. Get in with a Badger Mold Cub. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How about a Omni Changeling? Found it. Another counter spell. We popped off last game. This control deck is mostly just countering all of our stuff, which has not led to the most enjoyable match. But in game 2, we got him. Is our opponent playing anything from Lorwyn Eclipsed? It's going to be interesting. My guess would be, like, what card, when we look back in, I don't know, let's say a month. When we look back in a month, what card from Lorwyn Eclipsed do you think is going to be the most played in Standard? Well, get in with the breeding pool, pass the turn. What would your pick be? I feel like it almost certainly, for me, I think it's almost certainly going to be Formidable Speaker. Is there, Yeah, I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah, we're going to counter it. I guess our hope is they have nothing going on and we somehow just aggro them out. Normally countering card draw is not ideal, but this game is basically... It's basically either we somehow find a way to jank them out in the next couple of turns, or we're going to be dead anyway. Hit you down a 13. Pass the turn. Like, what else would be in the running? Opponent has another Lightning Helix. Sure. Untaps. Opponent plays a land. Opponent passes. We draw an Aurora Awakener that we sadly cannot play. Pass the turn. Opponent gonna start drawing cards of the Quarry Mountain Monastery. It is an Ultima. Okay, opponent untaps. And Ultima, well, I mean, we have to counter it, unfortunately. Because we're never going to get to Aurora Awakener if we lose this land. Opponent passes. Multiversal Passage. Tapped on black. Yeah, hit you for 1. Go. Even if we get to Aurora Awakener, it's Aurora Awakener X1. Alright, there it is. Consult the star charts. What else would be in the conversation? I mean, Moonshadow's good. But I almost think Moonshadow will still be better in older formats. It was good on early access day. Bitterbloom Bear maybe in the conversation. I think Formidable Speaker, I think, is the easiest pick. I think there's a chance Formidable Speaker is like one of the most played cards and then creatures in the entire format. The vote cards, I'm very curious to see how good they are. I feel like they have potential, but they just don't have like super obvious homes. Like Formidable Speaker, I can tell you, yeah, this game's over. Let's try one or two more games and then one or two more matches and then we'll switch decks. I want Meek Attack to be good. I feel like if Meek Attack has a chance to be good, it's gonna have to be some sort of combo deck. I think it's gonna have to be some sort of combo deck. If there's some sort of like standard Amulet Titan, maybe there's some sort of standard Amulet Titan. Hot take. I don't know if that's a hot take, but I don't think the set's very powerful. I think the set's pretty powerful. I think the challenge as far as standard's concerned is it's a tribal set, right? So most of the I think if you just go through the list of the cards, maybe not most, but half. Actually, once you get to the rares, it might actually be most of the cards are cards that are like built for a specific creature type. And we've just seen time and time again with cards like that, either the creature type succeeds or all the cards fail together. And I think that's going to be the challenge. Like, there's some really powerful merfolk, but you only play them in a merfolk deck. So if merfolk are good, they're going to look really good. If merfolk aren't good, then they're going to look really bad. So I think there's that kind of risk, I guess, built on top of it as far as cards seeing play. Found it. Gene Pollinator. Well, it's Overgrown Tomb tapped. I mean, this hand's pretty good. This is a Bloom Tender into Aurora Awakener hand, which is what we're looking for. Opponent's going to Quantum Riddler. And this deck doesn't have that much interaction. Opponent, Quantum Riddler. Opponent, going to get in for one. We might actually be doing it. This might be the one. This might be the one. Opponent passes. We will play a Cavern of Souls. We will name Druid. We will play a Bloom Tender. Okay. All right, next turn's the turn. Next turn's the turn for fun. Opponent. Come on. Come on. Is it going to work the way we envisioned? Play your Aboroid, that's fine. Winter, okay, that's even better. Winter Night Stories. Opponent's going to draw some cards. Well, if they Spidey Sense, and okay, they're not going to. Opponent gets in. Well, here we go. Here we go. It is party time. 7 mana. And Aurora Awakener. Actually, can we play this first? We can, can't we? So if we Breeding Pool Cavern. 1, 2, that's still enough. All right, so Breeding Pool untapped. 1, 2. Badger Mole Cub on the Cavern. And then Aurora Awakener. Let's see if we put our deck into play. Aurora Awakener, 5 shots. 1. Okay, there's the clone. And an Aurora Awakener, that's 5. Put them into play. Copy the Aurora Awakener. You can go tap, that's fine. Here we go again. Seam Rip, get the Gene Pollinator. Aurora Awakener's like, oh, an opponent. The deck is too good when it pops off. We never get to see it because people just scoop. we either don't cast a spell, or we do something so busted. Was this turn 3? This was turn. So turn 1 nothing, turn 2 Bloom Tender, turn 3 this. I mean, this deck might be like a 20% win rate deck, but that 20% is gonna happen very quickly and be very awesome. Oh, so good. Standard is so, yeah, I mean, standard power level is weird. I need to wrap my brain around. I'm still not sure how to evaluate cards for this new standard format where we have so many sets, so much power creep, like just so many years worth of cards in standard. How do you conceptualize it? Like, do you think of it like old modern? Maybe that's like pioneer. I think I got to train my brain to think about standard in the same way I think about like in Eternal format. Maybe not Legacy Eternal, but like modern or like Pioneer Eternal. I think that's how my brain has to think about the format, just because that's kind of what it has turned into at this point. So I think the power level is just so much different. In cards that 5 years ago, 10 years ago, you would seem to be like, oh, it's really good. That's my question with Ajani. Like, Ajani is a card that looks to me like a ridiculously good Planeswalker. But are cards like this good anymore? Like, it's 3 mana and it makes a 1/1? Is that good? Is that good in 2025? I'm actually not sure. I think it's like a very well-designed Planeswalker. I just don't know if cards like that are things anymore. Like, are they still things in the year of our Lord 2026? And I'm not sure. So that's the question. Ajani is a weaker Wandering Emperor. Well, I mean, the +1 token is nice. Well, okay. No Aurora Awakener, but we got the Leyline, which, I mean, the games with the Leyline tend to go a lot better than the games without the Leyline. That's one thing we've seen so far. Opponent, Gene Pollinator. Oh, we got the Bloom Tenders, too. Tapland, go. Opponent. Yeah. I played with Johnny a bit on Early Access Day, and I never felt like I got especially close to ultimating. Like, I never felt like it was especially close. Oh, about it. On the sword spear thing, the theory is this. Even a master swordman is helpless against a novice with a spear. The reach and angle of attack is too extreme for the swordsman to overcome. With that in mind, if Jeskai Revelation, Simic Bori, Demir controller swords, would you consider your Golgari Exile deck a spear? I mean, that's the idea. That's the idea. I don't know if it's really like undefeatable, so it might not be to the same extent, but that is the theory of it, at least. Is trying to build the spear when everyone else is playing swords. Hey Seth, I have a deck that carried me to Plat before Lorwyn. What cards could I add from Lorwyn to it or its sideboard, and what should I cut? Let me see. So nothing worth cloning yet. Well, I mean, I guess we go. Let's see. Overgrown Tomb untapped. Badger Mole Cub. The Starting Town. I mean, we're going to have a lot of mana. Oh, you're going to Spidey Sense this? Wow. Okay. I don't know what that even does when we already have the ability to make so much mana, but sure. We have like... Maybe Bloom Tender is better than I thought. We have like 20 mana. We have like 20 mana on turn 3. On turn 3. Bloom Tender, maybe Bloom Tender is better than I gave it credit for. Opponent, okay, Avoroid, sure. I mean, that might be good for us because we can't, wow, this is hilarious. I think it's clone time, clone you. And then I guess we, once again, clone you. And then we'll go to combat. Attack, and kill the Avoroid? Hey, shouldn't have played that Avoroid. Wow, yeah, I mean, that's like, you do need the Leyline down. You do need the Leyline, and that's like the consistency issue. But with a Leyline, it's actually just like better Badger Mole Cub. It's like so much mana. Oh, so much mana. That was actually pretty impressive. This top deck. Let's see this top deck. Cool. So there's gonna be, oh man. So this deck is gonna be a hard deck to add many cards to, because though I think one of the challenges of Lessons is we'll have to see in Strixhaven, but I don't know when we're going to get more lessons. And if you actually need a bunch of lessons in your deck, it's going to be tricky to cut too many lessons, or else you're going to lose the synergy. You're going to lose the synergy that you are trying to pull off in the deck. So I think that's going to be the challenge mostly is there just doesn't seem like a lot of slots where you can cut things. I'm not sure. Is there anything from Lorwyn Eclipsed that I would add to this deck? I'm honestly not. I mean, you could try like Vibrance or something, but that doesn't do anything like specifically with the deck. Yeah, I'm not sure. This might just be like a mostly an Avatar deck. I guess maybe the flex slots. Yeah, I'm not sure. Does anything stand out to the chat? There's nothing that really sticks out to me from Lorwyn Eclipse where I'd be like, okay, obviously, I mean, I guess Formidable Speaker is just like, if you're in green and you care about creatures, is a good card. That's like a way to get Badger Mole, a way to get Toph. So you try a couple of copies of that if you wanted to. That might be a possibility. But yeah, without getting more support for Lessons or Earthbending, I'm not sure that the new set has a ton for this deck in specific. Jaguar for the 81st month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super, thank you. Okay, so the lesson, so that, I mean, I guess that's other possibility. Elves Yuga, welcome to the Fishbowl. My favorite set of the year. I mean, I guess it's also January, so so it doesn't have that much competition, but it's a set that I've been most hyped for the year for sure. So I guess, yeah, if you don't care about the lessons, you could take out the lessons and just play random spells if you don't really care about the extra counter with Toph. I'm still not sure, like, the newer, is it Seer? What is the new 2-mana red removal spell? 4 damage, instant speed. So I guess you could, like, drop Combustion Technique, which is a lesson payoff. You could play Seer instead. That would open up to play more cards. But still, there's nothing that super jumps out for the archetype. Yeah, I'm wondering if they even bring lessons back in Strixhaven. I'm actually not 100% sure if they actually bring them back. I think it's like possible, but I kind of want to try. Something with Twilight Diviner. How do y'all feel about Twilight Diviner? We haven't tried Twilight Diviner yet. I kind of wanna give it a go. So Twilight Diviner, we don't have Badger Mold Cup in this deck, which might be a mistake. We might actually need Badger Mold Cups. But the idea of Twilight Diviner, whenever you reanimate something or have it cast from your graveyard, once a turn, you get a copy of it. So the idea of this deck, there's some cool synergies for this card. So Twilight Diviner, what can we do with it? So first, Balustrade Worm comes back from the graveyard for 4 mana if we have Delirium, which hopefully we can do because we have Artifact, we have Enchantment, we kind of have a mixture of card types. But Balustrade Worms comes back as a 5/5 Trampling Haster. 2 of those, that's a lot of damage. We also have Lively Dirge, which can put like Hostile Investigator, Bristleblood Farmer, Arborate in the graveyard, get 2 of those. It can also get Twilight Diviner if we need to find it. So that's one of the synergies. Broodheart Engine can just straight up reanimate things. So that's the way we can get back anything from the graveyard. So that's basically the idea of the deck. Oh, the other super cool card is Comeback Rog. Comeback Rog. I kind of want to add another copy actually, but Comeback Rog. You blow up a creature at sorcery speed. If it goes into a graveyard, you return to the battlefield under your control, sacrifice a being in your next end step. Notice, Twilight Diviner does not say from your graveyard. It's from a graveyard. So this means we could come back wrong ourselves and get a copy of something. But even better, we can come back wrong our opponent's thing. We'll get a temporary copy from Comeback Wrong, which will make a permanent copy with Twilight Diviner, which seems like it could be pretty spicy. So maybe we do some divining. I played Diviner in my pre-release as a 3-mana 3/3, Surveil 2 on ETB, couldn't trigger a second effect. Yeah, it seems like it might be tricky and limited. I've been playing your Gruul Land deck in Timeless. So much fun stopping all the crazy antics. I had a Badger Mole Cub, and using Cub with Strip Mine makes me feel like a true villain. Yeah, I could see that. Do you have Renin 6 in there? Why no Moonshadow? Wait, what would Moonshadow do in this deck? We do need a sideboard worth of cards though if we're gonna try this. What would Moonshadow? What would the upside of Moonshadow be? Can I not change this from limited? Why does it do that? Huh. Maybe I knew it in here. Hey, there we go. Moonshadow plus Malira in Modern any good? Maybe. It's a little awkward that, man, if they were reversed and Malira was 1 and Moonshadow was 2, that would be a pretty sweet curve. But I could still see that, like a 1-mana 7/7, even on like turn 3, that's still gotta be good enough for Modern, right? It's gotta be. So the thing I like, actually, honestly, I mean, we could also try, I don't know how you feel about it. The other deck, so from early access, there was one early access deck that stuck out to me as feeling like it could be a real deck. And it was actually the Moonshadow, the weird Esper Moonshadow deck. So if you're interested in Moonshadow, we could try that. We could try that if you wanted to. But we did play a little bit of Invested One on our early access day, but this deck felt oddly powerful to me. And at some point I do want to try Invested 3 because I felt like this deck might actually be kind of like a real potential deck, or like potentially a real deck. This was easily my best Moonshadow deck though. This deck just has so many so many neat little synergies of like Moonshadow into Reese. You have Abigail into Ancient One. Moonshadow Likeness Looter is really, really good. Hey, lots of twos. We got the two heavy curve. But that one actually felt very good. That one I think could actually be a real deck. Wait, what is the bug? Your companion. Oh, I actually turned my companion off today randomly, so I haven't had an issue with it, but I think that's just because it's not on at the moment. All right, what are we adding to our sideboard if we're going to try this? So, Duress. Duress comes in. Probably want a sweeper too. 0 Point Ballad. 0 Point Ballad. A couple of hexes. Maybe a Torpor Orb. Some card draw. Some artifact removal. Maybe an ooze would be good for Graveyard Hate. Maybe a Vivian Reed. One more. What else? What else would be good on the sideboard? I've been trying Standard, but I can't seem to get the hang of it. Do you have any tips? So, Lair Jay, what have you been playing? Or have you just been playing different decks? Or do you have one deck you've mostly been playing? Standard, I will say, traditionally Standard is kind of like the low-powered intro format where you can just get into the game. It's gotten much more powerful recently. So, I think it's been a matter of adjusting. So we have a couple 0 Point ballads in the sideboard. The Yankee, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super, thank you. Can we try it like this? Let's just try it like this. We'll run 61. We'll end up cutting the 61st card eventually, but let's try it like that, see how it feels. Do we not have enough Graveyard Hate? So we have one ooze. Yeah, actually, that is a good point. I kind of want all the comeback. How bad is comeback wrong? It can't be that bad, right? It can't be that bad. The Broodheart engine, I just mostly think we need to turn on Delirium. So my advice, if you were just starting off on Standard and struggling with it, my advice would actually be, assuming you enjoy playing Magic this way, but I would probably start with a known deck. I think it would be very hard right now to pick up Standard and brew your own deck and find much success with it if you haven't been doing that for a while, because the format's just so powerful right now. So I would probably look to get a deck that's maybe like mono red, I think is a good starter deck. The Borroid deck has a bunch of tricks to it, but it's a powerful deck. So I would probably like pick a deck and just try to learn that deck and also learn the format, because a lot of it's going to be knowing what your opponent's decks are trying to do. And because the format's so powerful right now, things are very punishing. Like if you play against a landfall deck and you do not leave up mana on the one turn that Might Form Harmonizer does its thing, your punishment is just is straight up dying. So there's a lot of things like that in Standard where like you need to leave up interaction for the Borroid. You need to leave up interaction at the right time for the Harmonizer. So it's a matter of like knowing your deck well, but also knowing what the rest of the decks are doing. Because if you don't know that, whatever, on turn 4 I need to leave up the mana or this Harmonizer is going to come down and I'm going to die, you're going to end up probably struggling and losing a lot of games just because the cards are so powerful that it's not as forgiving as it used to be. I think Standard in the past, you could kind of like stumble around a little, or if you couldn't kill something right away, well, you killed a couple turns from now, and yeah, you lost some life, but that's all right. You can overcome that. But cards are just so powerful now that that you don't really have the luxury, I don't think, of kind of stumbling around for a couple turns. Is a Boroid that expensive? I mean, it's probably somewhat. It can't be that expensive. A Boroid is. Wow, it actually is. Yeah, it is. It is actually. Jeez, what is happening to standard? wait. To build this deck's like $1,000 now. It is pushing $1,000. Riddler's $50. Badger Mole Cub over $50. A Boroid almost $50. Toss in a few lands. Wow. Wow. I mean, I know we've had a lot of inflation, but I remember when Jace Friends Prodigy came out and we had $1,000 standard deck, that was a big topic. That was a big topic in the community. I haven't heard as much conversation about how expensive standard is right now. Kind of a sad time to brew jank. Honestly, that's one of my issues with the format, honestly, is the way I like to play is I like to brew jank, and I feel like Magic has gotten more and more hostile to that in recent years. I still love Magic, and I still find ways to make it work, but it's gotten a lot harder. It's gotten a lot harder, I would say, than it used to be. Well, we probably got to keep Bitter Triumph here, and actually, maybe we just keep both of these. Yeah, we'll just keep them both. We got the Diviner, too. Maybe we can do the Diviner trick. Do you see any effect from the shocks in Lorwyn Standard? So I think the shocks are going to have a pretty big effect. I think it's going to help the colors that were missing a shock, if that makes sense. So, like, some decks it doesn't have any effect on. Like, Simic Boroid is going to be the same as it was before. I guess it gets a little better because you have Steam Vents now. I think the biggest impact, though, is, like, decks like Airbending Combo. There's certain color combinations. Bant is one of them, where you're trying to play 3 colors, but before Lorwyn Eclipsed, you only had a single shock land. So going from a shock land to 3 shock lands is a huge boost of power to the mana base. So I think we're going to see 3 color decks that only had 1 shock land before actually get a pretty huge boost of power. Ward, discard a card. Yeah. I mean, this hurts, but I guess we pay 3. Kill the Saboteur. Discard the Worm? Jeskai, yeah. I think it's less... it still helps Jeskai, although I think it's less important to Jeskai just because Jeskai's a little bit slower, so I think you can get away with more tap lands in Jeskai than you can in like the Airbending combo deck. But yeah, decks like that get a big boost of power. Do we have a removal spell opponent? Opponent looking at the Bristlebud. Gonna go to combat. Gonna attack. Gonna put a counter on the Bristlebud. Sure, we will take it. Down at 9. And Dark Confidant. Oh, we're so close. We're so close to doing the Twilight Diviner thing. How do we do this? How do we do this without dying? So you play the Diviner, get smacked. Well, let's go to combat. Let's get in with the Farmer. Let's sack a food. Mill 3 cards. Get back a Bossing Say. Pound it. Gonna take the beats down to 6. Four, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I think we just play Diviner. Surveil away the land. We'll keep the Dirge. We can crack the food. Pwn it. Oh, hits a land. Okay, land off Bob. This is going to be close. Pwn it. Land. I mean, we can crack the food to not die. Opponent combat. Swings with everything. Grows the farmer. Now we will block the Bob. Take our beats. I guess we have to sack the food now because of lightning bolt effects. I've been having issues with Untapped. I haven't been able to figure them out. I've tried everything, and Untapped, I do not know. I do not know why it's not working the way it's supposed to for people. So it's not just you. Opponent. I'm trying to figure out what to do with the removal. I mean, we can do the worm trick with the diviner if we untap with it. We also have the comeback raw. Like, if we untap with the diviner, next turn's going to be kind of cool. Opponent's going to deceit. Evoke. Wow. Gonna take our comeback wrong. Okay. Wait, do they also have like a torch the tower? So opponent evokes. Oh, they're gonna try to scam it? Okay, that's fine. Not dead after all, sure. We get to do the thing. We get to do the thing. Opponent, sure. Deceit, yes, fine. However, we got a plan for that, and that plan is we got a balustrade worm. It's gonna come back from the graveyard. ×2, they all have haste, and I think we're gonna attack a smidge. And that actually worked pretty good. That worked pretty good. Hey, what's up, Cat Cam Fan? I thought the opponent Phyrexian a dog pet was making sound was bear panting somewhere off camera, but somehow close enough to the mic to be loud. Yeah, it is kind of an annoying pet sound. It does actually sound like like bear panting a little bit, just constantly. Okay. I mean, Twilight Diviner felt pretty good there. We needed, well, did we even need the double worm? I guess we didn't even need it, did we necessarily? Still, double worm was pretty sweet. Yeah, I don't know if scamming these elementals is going to be worth it. Like, do you think that's worth it? So our opponent let's see, they spend 2 mana on the deceit. They thought sees us, essentially. Then they spend a second card to get the deceit back as a 6/6. So altogether, it's 2 cards in 3 mana, and you get a 6/6 and a Thoughtseize. I mean, even without getting the ETB, maybe these are still worth scamming. Like, it didn't work here. It didn't win the game here, but that sounds not unreasonable. Like, that sounds fine. Really, you think they're kind of unplayable? I think the new evoke elementals are good. I just don't know where they fit. Like, unlike some of the cards that have very obvious homes, I feel like the evoke elementals do not have very obvious homes. Have you thought of dual streaming on YouTube? Yes. I have, and that's something that I just haven't gotten to setting up, but that is the plan. That is the plan to, once I get things set up, just dual stream. It's a matter of getting like the chats organized and stuff. There's some technical stuff, but once I get it figured out, I would like to just stream on both. I think that'd be the easiest way to do it. So what are we gonna cut? We'll go down to Dirge. Maybe go down to Molt Tender. Maybe 1 comeback rog. Maybe a worm. Let's go 2 Molt Tenders. Let's try it like that. Bring in a bunch of removal, run it like that. Dual stream. So, wait, I forgot. Okay. I forgot we were 61 cards. It would basically just be, Josh, you'd be able to see the stream on YouTube or on Twitch. So it'd basically be live on both places at the same time. So it wouldn't really change anything as far as your everyday experience, other than if you happen to be on the YouTube, you could be like, oh, Seth's streaming, and click on it and watch it from there, basically. Is there a way to read both chat windows in the same window? So apparently, I looked into this a little bit. Apparently, there is a program that you can get that sort of just merges the chats, so it all will read like, it'll read just like this chat, essentially. Apparently, well, see, I haven't actually tried it. I've just read about it and heard other people talk about it. But apparently there's a program that just merges the chats together. Because that was my issue, right? Is like, the way I like streaming is just hanging out with y'all. Like, it's all about just talking and interacting. And I don't really want to stream on YouTube if I'm not going to see the chat, because it kind of defeats the purpose of streaming for me. But if we can just merge them together and it's seamless and it's just like Twitch chat, but you can also like see me or type to me on YouTube, then that would be sweet. Yeah, no ads is a nice bonus. Bonus Blaze Meyer Verge, and well, there goes our Overlord. Do you get a lot of ads on Twitch? Are there a lot? YouTube honestly is probably just as bad, except I have the option to turn them off. But if you just go with the YouTube default, there's an insane amount of ads. I've showed pictures of it before, but you'll upload like an hour-long podcast, and it will literally put like 40 ads. Like sometimes I've had some videos where they put multiple ads on top of each other, like literally the exact same time. There's just two ads stacked. I'm like, what are you doing, YouTube? What is going on, YouTube? Yeah, I guess we gotta kill the Bob. We can't really have our opponent drawing cards. That would be unwise. Oh yeah, the open and closing. Yeah, I've experienced that before. Well, hey, Cease. Come here, Cease. Hey, Cease. That cat does not listen to me at all. I thought we might get a Cece cameo, but she's heading the other direction. We don't run any ads on Twitch. I think there are some that Twitch shows by default, like when you first turn on Twitch, but we don't do any ads or ad breaks or anything. Another Saboteur. Okay, opponent beating down. Well, at least this grows our elf. Why does Sunset Saboteur not see more play? Card seems pretty reasonable. Well, let's Esper Origins. Mana value 2 or less. Alright, so take the Diviner. Maybe we can do the Diviner come back wrong trick. Draw the Diviner. Hit you with the Llanowar. Trade it. Found it, takes it. Hey Seth, have you thought about an Orzhov deck? We have Kinsar Sentry and Abigail. Kinsar can let you put Roskir's Rusaka into play to get around the attacking downside, just like Abigail. Also really good with Saboteur. Ooh, I haven't thought of that. But that actually sounds super cool. I think Abigail's a really cool card. That's a card I'm gonna definitely brew around more. I had not thought about playing with Sentry though. I like that idea. I'm gonna have to mess around with that, see if I can build it. Found it. Preacher of the Schism. Ba-dum-bump. Going to get in with the Saboteurs. Gonna grow the Elves. Sure. Oh, this turn might be cool. So we get to make mana. We have what, 7-8 mana? So we can play a Twilight Diviner. Oh, check this out. We play a Twilight Diviner. We will keep another comeback wrong. We come back wrong. The Preacher of the Schism. It dies. It comes back into play temporarily, but we got the Twilight Diviner, so we get another permanent copy. We play the Overgrown Tomb untapped. Rackwitting Hex. Blight. Rackwitting Hex. Blight onto the Preacher that's going to go away anyway. Discard the comeback wrong. Threats. Oh, Twilight Diviner. Twilight Diviner's popping off. Hit you down to 8. The Preacher goes away, but we get to keep. Twilight Diviner might be real. Shallow State for the 40th month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super thank you. One issue I've noticed with this huge standard is just not knowing what all the cards are for watching stuff. Like between this and Spider-Man and paper and just thousands of cards in different art, just can't tell what's going on in the game like I used to be able to. I have experienced that also, Josh. So don't feel bad because I do this all day, every day. This is my... I mean, I guess we do it again. Ba-dum-bum. Come to our side, creature of the schism, Twilight Diviner. Come back wrong is actually so cool in this deck. It is actually so cool in this deck. And opponent, I think you're a little dead. You came back wrong. Okay. Wow. Wait, is come back wrong Twilight Diviner an actual thing? that was pretty good. I have experienced that same thing. Honestly, I don't know if you've experienced this. I have found it harder to brew in standard. So I know that there's part of it's harder to brew just because power level higher. It's harder to win with janky cards. All that stuff's been going on forever. But like, to some extent, I feel like the standard card pool is kind of overwhelming now. Like, standard used to have a small card pool of like maybe 2,000 cards at the high end, like 1,000 to 2,000 cards roughly. And I feel like it was realistic to know every single relevant card in standard. Like, if you went back 5 or 10 years ago, I could have probably named off every playable card in standard. But now that we're up to 5,000, 6,000 cards, whatever it's going to end up being by the time we get to the end of the year, 7, even more than that, but like 5,000 to 6,000 cards, I think that's not realistic anymore. Like, the card pool is just too big. Maybe some people can do it, but I can't. Like, my brain's not big enough to remember, all the playable cards out of a pool of 5,000 or 6,000 cards. So yeah, I think that is actually an issue of just like, in a weird way, it makes it harder to build a deck, because before I'd be like, okay, I want to do this. I'm building a Panharmonicon deck. I need to draw a card, so in the 2-drop slot, I play this. Or in the 5-drop slot, I play this to work with my Panharmonicon deck. Now there's just so many options that I think you could almost end up with some amount of, like, decision paralysis to some extent, where there's, like, so many things it becomes overwhelming, and then you go play Hearthstone, or Riftbound, or whatever. So I do think that's actually a bit of a concern. I do think that is what was I going to add to this deck? Did I say... When I clicked here, in my brain, I was like, oh, I should be adding a copy of this. And I can't remember, and I don't think I said it out loud, so y'all wouldn't know either. Did I? I didn't happen to mention what I was about to add, did I? I had some brilliant idea based on our last game, but now I can't remember it. Yeah, Riftbound. Lorcana. How about Lorcana? One Piece. Maybe some One Piece. I mean, in Hearthstone, people still probably play Battlegrounds, right? I think, maybe. But yeah, Hearthstone itself was kind of 10 years ago. That's been how I've been trying to conceptualize standard, is every once in a while going back and just going through old sets and trying to remember everything that's in them and look at, like, okay, how could this synergize with Lorwyn Eclipse? How could this synergize with Avatar? So you get some of that if you just type in, like, I don't know, you're trying to build an elves deck, so you type in elves. You get some of that from that, but I think it's even better, especially if you're trying to build some jank. I think it's even better to... Yeah, I guess we got to keep land number 4 here. I think it's even better to just browse through the set sometimes. Isn't that kind of the way that Garfield originally intended Magic to be? Yes, but there's a huge asterisk, I would say. So I think... Oh, man, I feel dirty about this, but we drew one of a Bororoid, so I guess we're dirty Bororoid players. I don't know, our opponent's playing a Bringer deck anyway, so they're probably just going to reanimate. But, found it. Watery Grave. Steam Core Scholar. Setting up for the reanimation next turn, potentially. Yeah, it's going to be a concern. That is going to be a concern. Oh, my God, and that's a Vel'Gavoth. Okay. So, Vel'Gavoth Bringer. We play Restless Cottage. So we just have to hope they don't have it, I guess. Happy Lorwyn Day! Oi, Broken Kenobi. So what I would say, Cat Cam, how do we play around this? I mean, I guess we just Esper Origins. Like, if they have Superior Spider-Man and we die, I guess we just die. Like, I guess that is what it is. So we'll keep the forest. We'll keep the reanimation. We'll go to combat. We'll grow the dorks. We'll get in for 4. If our opponent does some aggressive blocking here, I'm going to assume that they have the Spider-Man. Do you have it, opponent? Do you have Spectacular Spider-Man? Caballero, opponent, land untapped. Okay, Steam Core Scholar. Wall of Chaos for the 109th month. Welcome. I think we win. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big subscription for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm gonna answer. Let me finish this game, Cat Cam, because I have thoughts on that, and then I will answer your question. How much mana do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we play the land. I want to play the Diviner because it's fun, but I don't think that's correct. I think we just have to Bitter Triumph, pay 3, kill the FOMO. Restless Cottage, fire it up. Combat, grow up, attack him, exile the bringer, and turns out even one Aboroid can be enough. I'm so happy Lorwyn's here too, Wall of Chaos. 109 months. I think you are very close. You're actually tied for the top of the leaderboard now with the Mike Arnold for the most months. That is wild. That's almost 11 years. So here's my thought, Cat Cam fan. My understanding is Richard Garfield's original idea for Magic is most people only have a few cards. Most people wouldn't know what all the cards were. I think from my understanding, he kind of envisioned like you and a few of your friends getting a few Magic cards and kind of playing it like almost like a board game, and like maybe you'd trade cards with your friends, but you'd play very unoptimized. You wouldn't know what all the cards were. So I think that part is very true. I think the difference now though is Magic like I think it's a silly argument to say, because I've heard some Wizards people say this. I think the argument now is very silly to be like, oh, that's what Richard Garfield wanted. He wanted people to not know what the cards were, because we live in this world where what most people are playing are net decks. And I'm not anti-net decking. I've talked about this many times. But most people, like, because of MTG Goldfish and Wizards publishing lists and big tournaments, what most people are playing are these like hyper efficient lists that someone has designed and like heavily tuned. So I think that goes very against Garfield's original idea of Magic, which was you kind of just play, you know, what you got, and you play with what your friends got, and maybe you trade amongst yourselves to make your decks a little better. But I don't think Garfield envisioned like, you take the deck that, yeah, he didn't even envision Worlds existing, but he wouldn't envision that you'd have this big tournament called Worlds that thousands of people try to qualify for, and then everyone takes the deck that wins that and then plays that thing. Because obviously the people playing the decks that won Worlds are just going to stomp all over the people who are playing with the cards they own with their friends. So I think that's where it kind of falls apart. So I think that was the original idea, but I think the Magic ecosystem has just grown so massive over the years that I don't think we can realistically go back to that as much as it would be cool if we could. I don't know if we can. I don't know if it's possible. The game like this getting so popular wasn't Garfield's vision. It would be a little antiquated now. I do think Magic as Garfield intended is a very easy thing to say. It's almost a meme at this point. Because at this point, Magic is so far away from what it originally intended that it's no one would have thought. I'm sick of Cub. Honestly, I'm sick of Cub too. What did it for me? You know what actually put me over the edge with Cub? What finally put me over the edge was building elf decks for Lorwyn Eclipsed and feeling like my elf decks, that the first card I needed to add was Badger Mole Cub. Once that happened, I was like, okay, this can't be right. Like, this can't be right. There's lots of elves that make mana. The fact that I feel like I need to play this silly Badger Mole in my deck where I have all these elves, I have elf lords in the deck, Elvish Archdruid in the deck. That's what made me think, okay, this card might be I mean, I already knew it was so busted, but that's what really was like, okay, this this probably isn't healthy. Found it. Overlord, filling the graveyard. What do you make of Lorwyn Limited? I haven't gotten to play it yet. I have played 0 Lorwyn Limited, so hopefully, yay. I mean, I've been playing a lot of Limited lately. I enjoy Limited, so I hope it's good, but I just haven't gotten to play it yet. I think we just do this Esper Origins. Actually, no. Well, is there a way? If they reanimate, can we get enough stuff in the graveyard? Maybe. They have a deceit, so they're going to be able to thought seize us. We could, like, Overlord into Esper Origins and then get thought seized. Yeah, let's do that. I kind of like the filling the graveyard. That just gives us some chance to keep up if they do the reanimation thing. Overlord. Take the Diviner. And then exile a land. Esper Origins. Ugh. Well, mill and... I guess we got to keep the land on top. It's unfortunate it's a tap land, but unimpend. Did you see the TMNT card with Rat King Verminster? Are we going to do a deck with him and a million Relentless Rats? That was the first thing. That was the first thing I thought of. Is like, this is the perfect card for Relentless Rats or Rat Colony deck. So, yeah, I mean, probably. It's on my list. Sagi, for this second month, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super Jeffrey, thank you. In my pre-release, my opponent had 2 special... Wow, what are the odds of opening 2 special guests? Probably not very high in a pre-release pool. At least one of them was Painter's Servant, which is, I don't think doing a ton of... Oh, no, we need Graveyard Hate very, very soon. This turn's gonna be bad. So we play a land and... Ugh. Play land and pass? That's it? Yeah, I mean, play land and pass. There's not much else we can do. Found it. Untaps. There's no bringer in the graveyard, at least. Found it. Passing. Unimpending. Now we're going to Esper Origins. Milliboroid. Yeah, I think we just mill both. Can we hit a land? Please, please, please. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Torpor Orb's actually insane. Torpor Orb shuts down our opponent's whole shebang, I think. Because Bringer won't trigger. Opponent Knife Trick pitches the Bringer. Okay, but we got the Torpor Orb, and it didn't even kill it. And we get to make some mana. And we get to play the land. And we get to play a Hostile Investigator. Make you discard that. Is it a Superior Spider-Man? Cavanero? Cavanero? Oh my god, it was. Oh my goodness. Torpor Orb, just to make sure an opponent scoops it up. Ooh. Wow, was that close. We were 1 turn away from disaster, and this deck's kind of winning. Oh, I know what I was going to do. I was going to export the deck so I could put it in the chat. Quartered. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription, and we got a pack. Big super chat for you. Thank you. Okay, Twilight Diviner's felt good so far. It has felt pretty good. All right, let's post this just so people have the deck list. So what format do y'all play the most now? I'm curious. How many? Sound off in the chat. How many of you is your most played format Commander at this point? Okay, we will, you know what? Let's include Brawl Commander. Yeah, Brawl, let's include Brawl in Commander. So Brawler Commander. So Commander or Sealed. Standard, okay. What about 60 card formats? What about Standard? How many of you, the format you play the most, even over Commander, is Standard? I'm curious what the number is. I'm also curious how much it's changed. Like, how different is this for you than 5 years ago or 10 years ago if you've been playing that long? So we see some standards in there. Is there anyone where their most played format is modern at this point? I'm curious. Do we have any modern or pioneer? Modern or pioneer, either one of the, like, non-reserve list eternal formats. I only play standard. Okay. I mean, there was a long time where I played a lot of modern too. I guess I've never only played standard, not in a long time. How do you like pioneer these days, Heath? Poor pioneer. Pioneer is such a, like, good idea. It just needs more support. 60 card format I play most is called Watching Seth Jank Off. Hey, that one's on my OnlyFans. I wanted to play limited, but I'm not good at it. Limited takes time to learn, but it's so fun. It's so fun. Limited has actually become one of my favorite formats. I don't actually have an OnlyFans. I was kidding. But if I did, I would have a video named Watching Seth Jank Off, I guess. Modern is too expensive. What about fringe formats? Are there any of you in fringe, not in a derogatory way, but not the most popular formats? Is there anyone in here who's just like hardcore pre-modern or old school or CDH? I don't even know if CDH. I guess that just is counted with Commander. Is there anyone where that's the primary way? So it seems like, I guess it's mostly what I thought, where you have like a lot of Commander, a bit of Standard, a little bit less Pioneer Modern. It's more or less what I would have guessed. Really, you like Sealed better. I like Draft way more than Sealed, personally. Sealed, I feel like Sealed... The problem with Sealed that I have is I feel like the variance is super high, just based on what you open. I feel like in Draft, even if you open bad packs, I feel like I can still build a good deck. But sometimes I open a Sealed pool and just look down and I'm like, oh no. Oh no. That's five dual lands. Yeah, I'm becoming more and more of a limited is the purest form of Magic person. I still love like the brewing that constructed enables. But I'm encouraged that I forgot about Oathbreaker. I played one game of Oathbreaker with Krim, and he ruined the format for me, and I never played it again. He played 3 mana Teferi Silence. He played 3 mana Teferi Silence, my one and only game that I ever played in this format, and it was the most miserable thing. And he ruined it. He found a way to ruin. No. He found a way to ruin the entire format. We're gonna pay 3 and see if we can kill this. Hopefully, there's no Spell Snare, Spell Pierce. All right, Bitter Moonbear down. My pre-release pool is pretty rough for this one. Draft might be better for this set. I was encouraged that the against the odds of the cube draft actually did pretty well. People actually seem to enjoy it. So I think we actually will probably get some more limited videos thrown in here or there. I mean, constructed will always be the biggest thing, but I think we'll see more here or there. How about a Belistrad Worm? Uncounterably. Can't counter that one. How about 5 to the face? No one expects the worm. Opponent down to 11. And Enduring Curiosity. Okay, that is an annoyingly good card. Opponent gonna get in and draw a card. Hits us to 15. Enduring Curiosity. Opponent. What are the chances we get a budget Magic but for pre-modern? I want to try the format, but I don't want to pay for cards on Moto. Are you trying to play it in paper or on Moto? How do we do this? Oh man, this actually, wait, so Spree still gets got by Spell Snare, right? Oh, that's awkward. 2-drop's got a little bit worse with Spell Snare around. So I actually did a budget Magic of pre-modern, but it was more focused on paper prices than Moto prices. But I did actually already do a budget Magic of pre-modern. Oh no. Well, yeah, I think we're getting Demir, unfortunately. That Tidebinder was kind of a blowout. So this minimizes the number of cards, but yeah, Enduring Curiosity just feels unbeatable. I've never played Magic, but I'm interested in starting and learning Arena. Do you have any suggestions on where I should start and how much money I would need to start? Oh, well, welcome, Tetravis. That's super exciting. Magic Arena is awesome, and I would definitely encourage you. There is good news here, Tetravis. So starting is pretty easy. Magic Arena actually does a very good job, or I would say a very good job, of kind of walking you through the steps when you first start off. There's like kind of tutorial modes and stuff that'll work you through the rules and the basics, and you can play the game quite literally for free. Like, you can play it without spending any money at all. So it's gonna depend. Have you played Magic? Have you played Magic before? You've never played Magic, period. Okay, so I wouldn't spend any money right away. I would get on. I would play through like the tutorials, the color challenges to learn the game, and then after that point, if you're enjoying it, which hopefully you will be, yeah, we just have to do this, I guess. I don't even know if it's good enough. They're probably going to counter it anyway. But after that, then you can make the decision of, do I actually want to invest? So if you do end up... what do we get here? Sadly, Twilight Diviner says other creatures, so it doesn't trigger itself. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just Hostile Investigator. Make a discard. Would have been better with the Twilight Diviner out. So that's what I would do. Just download the client, get into it for free, play through some of the stuff to start learning the game. And then if you do decide you want to start paying, you earn quite a bit of just rewards through the game. But if you get hooked and you're playing all the time, then you can start paying some extra money if you want to draft. It's really up to you. You can do literally everything for free. Paying just speeds it up. So you can earn like all the decks that I play, you can earn them with spending $0. It's just going to take you a few weeks of like grinding out in-game currency, playing something else. But then if you're like, oh, I really want to play this deck right away, I don't know, what is it? Probably is $100 a fair... Is $100 just to straight up buy a deck maybe a fair estimate, I would say, on Arena? With some being cheaper if you try to get like a more budget-friendly deck. But then you could just like spend the money and just straight up buy one of the decks if you wanted to. Yeah, I think our opponent's got this one. Demir's been a nightmare for us. We cannot beat Demir. Oh, Jump In. Yeah. Jump In's the other one that's really good. For just starting. That one's also a very good option for just starting. Oh, you've already... I'm sorry, I talked about the tutorials and stuff. So you're further ahead than I thought. Yeah, Jump In's really good. And then I guess the next step is, if you get used to Jump In, I would consider maybe trying... What's the best draft for someone just starting? Is it the bot drafts? Like, is that what you would recommend to someone, is to start with the bot drafts? Because I think that's the other really good way for building a collection is Limited is very good for that. The drafts are very good because you get to keep the cards. Quick Draft is what you would go with. Is Quick Draft the bot draft? Quick Draft's the bot draft, and then Premier is the best of one. What do we want against Demir? Not Torpor Orb. Bitterbloom Bear seems... I think that's where we're going to see Bitterbloom Bear. Quick Draft is absolutely, it's cheaper, unlimited time, yeah. So the Quick Draft, I think, is the next step. If you like Jumpstart, I would try some of the Quick Drafts. They're probably the best like intro mode draft, and you get to keep the cards in your collection, and drafting is just like incredibly fun. Like it is like just such a fun way to play Magic. Oh yeah, if it comes down to it, buying I don't even know, do they still sell individual wildcards in the store? I'm not even sure if they still do, but if they do, in general, it's not worth buying wild cards. Instead, it is generally much better to just open the packs or earn the packs and then open the wild cards or get them that way. Traditional, okay. Premier is best of 1, traditional best of 3. That one always throws me because on Moto, I think it was the opposite, where Premier was like the best of 3, and then I don't even know. They just added best of 1 recently, but right, the drafting against bots, but then the games against real players. Yeah, there's no draft mode where you play against bots, but you just draft against bots, which helps with the clock and stuff. You're not as timed as if you're drafting against other people. I couldn't imagine like your first draft being on a clock where you have like whatever amount of time to make a pick. That would probably be kind of stressful. I could see that being a little bit awkward. Do we just keep? Yeah, we're gonna keep the upside hand. Get rid of the removal spell. I mean, we're just gonna try to run out this Twilight Diviner. Hope for the best. Krusty back. Welcome to the fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big subscription. Thank you. All downhill this year set wise. I mean, ooh, we got to keep the comeback wrong. Actually, I think we keep both of these. We're just going to keep both of them. That's fine. That's fine. Get Ellen Diviner. No one expects comeback wrong, Twilight Diviner. And that's, I mean, 3 mana, kill your thing, steal that thing is kind of actually very good. So is this your all downhill from here set-wise? I think the answer is maybe. So what sets, Lorwyn Eclipse was the set I was most hyped for, but there's some things I'm really holding out hope for. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, if we just go by hype level, my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle hype was very close to 0, like literally like 1 out of 10, as low as it could be. Now that we've seen some of these early spoilers, leaks, whatever you want to call them from the pre-release, it's gone up to like a 2 or a 3. So it's not going to top Lorwyn, but it doesn't look as bad as Spider-Man to me, which is slightly encouraging. But the sets I actually think could top this potentially, I think there's a chance that Reality Fracture is actually the peak of the year. Right now, we don't have enough information about it. See if we regret not blocking like Kaido. Okay, we dodged the Kaido. I think that that there is a chance that Reality Fracture is actually like a banger, bomby, amazing set that people really like. Well, since our opponent did that. No, my God, I'm so dumb. That's not what I was trying to do. Awkward. Okay, let's play an Underground Mortuary. I was just going to play the Worm. We'll keep the Hostile Investigator. Yeah, we're just going to... Yeah, that turn went all wrong. Want to make mana with the Molt Tender and play the Worm, because I'm worried about Spell Snare on the Esper Origins. But we'll have to settle for a little bit of Earthbending, I guess. Opponent. Flitterwing Nuisance. Well, I mean... Alright, let's see if we can do this properly. Exile a card from the graveyard. Oh, we don't really want to exile any of these, honestly. You know what? We'll just tap the land. Balustrade Orb. Can't counter that one. And get in, hit ya. Opponent. Takes it down to 13. All right, pass the turn. Opponent with the Bitter Bloom Bear. Opponent gonna make a token. Yeah, that was a punt. That was definitely a punt. I clicked the wrong thing on the Molt Tender. I know, if they knew it at Worlds. Oh, you think it'll be Reality? Reality Freak should be Eldrazi focused. Are there any other sets that you think this year could be like the set of the year? The Hobbit, maybe? Like, I honestly think if they just run back Lord of the Rings, that set was so well received that I think if they just run back Lord of the Rings, that would probably actually go over pretty well. Found it, gonna draw some cards. Annoying. Enduring Curiosity, very busted. Well, this time we actually do want to mill a card. Mill a card. On tap. Spell Snare is making everything so tough. I really just want to Esper Origins, but you know they've been religiously leaving up blue mana. I'm like convinced I'm convinced that they have it. I am convinced that they have it. Opponents at 10, we're at 18. They're drawing all the cards. Well, let's Hostile Investigator. Can't spell snare that. Make you discard. Opponent's got plenty of cards to discard. Go to combat. I mean, we're ahead on board. Wow, opponent's going to double block. Interesting. Double blocks. Loses a token. Takes the beats. Down to 9. We are ahead on board. They're just ahead on cards, which is the scary part. That's the part that's frightening. Opponent down to 8 makes a token. They're just drawing so many cards each turn with this Enduring Curiosity. Yeah, I mean, that is the issue, right? Is the Hobbit is, from what I've heard, as a non-Lord of the Rings fan, strictly worse than Lord of the Rings. So maybe it won't be as good because of that. But I think that set has a chance. I think Reality Fracture could have a chance. And maybe Star Trek is like a bang. I'm like a little sus of Star Trek, actually. Like, it's not. I don't know. I have a hard time envisioning how it's going to fit. It's got real world actors in it. Some of the stuff I'm usually a little bit skeptical about. So that part is kind of scary. But maybe it ends up being way better than I'm expecting it to be. Well, let's get back the worm. Go to combat. Swing and swing. I mean, they have a handful of cards. They gotta have something here. Washitong Librarian to draw even more cards. Okay. And gonna do some blocking. So is this fairies? Does this count as fairies? How many non-fairies can you play and be a fairies deck? I mean, they gotta block something. Oh, they're gonna double block the worm. Okay. The opponent double blocks the worm. Drops to 4. Enchantment, creature, sorcery. Oh, man. This feels very awkward, but we're actually going to exile an Esper Origins here. I don't think this game's going to go long enough for it to matter. And play a Broodheart Engine. Opponent down to 3. Can we find a way to close this out? Opponent gonna get in and gonna draw cards. Our opponent cannot afford to take that much damage. Wow, they're gonna get in with both. Draw even more cards. I mean, Seabass have been drawing all the cards, that's for sure. So, question, Jay. I haven't asked you this. I'm sure you've seen opponent's got a Kaido. I'm sure you've seen at least some of the Turtles cards. Did they change your perception, your hype level for the set at all? Like, did the stuff that we got to see that was accidentally spoiled during Lorwyn Eclipse, did it make you feel any different about the Turtles set? Like I mentioned, for me, I was like a 1 out of 10, and it might have went up to a 2 or 3 out of 10 because I didn't see any hot dog carts. So I was like, okay, at least New York City looks kind of fantastical. It looks different than every day. So that helped a little bit. Did the cards do anything? Did it make you think, oh, maybe the set won't be as bad as I thought? Or, oh, this set's going to be awesome. Or, oh, I was super hyped and now I'm not as hyped. Like, I'm curious. I mean, I think we keep the land. We play the land. I want to do the cool diviner thing, but I mean, we got to get back the worm. Opponent has a Tishana's Tide Bind. I mean, this is the problem with our opponent getting to draw all the cards, is they're just always going to have the answer. And I don't think, I think we just lose from here. Like, it turns out you can't beat your opponent drawing 5 cards a turn, unfortunately. So we attack. Brutal. Brutal, brutal. I feel like your hype level for every set goes up when you actually get to see the cards. That might be true, but like the reason it mattered here wasn't so much the cards. Like the cards are about what I would have expected, I think, as far as power level or whatever. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Is there even any point? Yeah, okay, we'll pass. I'm very close to just scooping here because I don't think it's possible we can get in 3 points of damage, but at this point it's so close, like, we might as well play it out a couple more turns. But I think our opponents just got it. Like, they have too many cards, and we do not have enough cards. Opponent takes up Guido.
I've trained with the best.
And I mean, I believe in the heart of the cards. I just don't know if there's a card in our deck that gets us out of this. Like, that's kind of the issue. Like, because our opponent has so many cards, I think even our best, like, Balustrade Worm is probably, like, our best card, but there's just no way it's actually going to work. All right, opponent's going to pass. Well, we will mill a card. We will surveil. Bitter Triumph. Does that matter? I mean, I guess we'll keep it. We draw Bitter Triumph. We attempt to get back a worm. About it. All right, going to kill the worm. We will go to combat. We will attack. And opponent has to shoot the sheriff. Yeah. Boo. Boo. Friggin' Demir. I would settle for 1 UB set a year. I personally believe it's ruining Magic. My concern is there's no going back. I don't think that UB is ruining Magic right now. Yeah, I know. Demir just... Enduring Curiosity is a busted card. Like, it's just a busted card. It's hard to beat an opponent that has all the cards. Entropic Battlecruiser seems fun against Izzet Lessons. Yeah, punishing them for discarding. That is pretty cute. 4 mana is kind of... Just, I wish it was a little more... That was a card that if it was 3 mana, I feel like it would have been way more exciting. I feel like it was just a little bit steep, but it is still, if you can get it down, it is funny against him. Well, Underground Mortuary. Mill the Dirge. Go. So my concern is just like, with Universes Beyond, if it does kill Magic, which I'm not saying it is killing Magic, but like, let's say it does go really wrong and Wizards goes too far and they end up printing, I don't know, stuff that people really hate and people, wow, we whiff. But it does go wrong eventually and people start to stop playing because of it. I don't know how you back out of that. Like, how do you get out of that situation? Like, what do you ban Universes Beyond? Like, even if you're like, okay, we get it, this is killing the game, I'm sorry, we're not gonna do this anymore. Do you ban them in all formats and try to pretend like they don't exist? That's a really awkward solution. Like, that's the part that I think is tough. Like, I just don't know how you go back. If you ever had to go back, if you get in a position where you need to like reverse course, how do you reverse course in Magic? It's kind of actually very similar to my concern with Modern Horizons sets in Modern. Is it's like, yeah, you can stop printing them now And I guess it's fine that you stop printing them now, but that doesn't take, you know, Ragavan or whatever the evoke elementals or whatever the problems are or the domination out of the format. So it's just Magic, because it lives forever. It's hard to undo things if you need to undo things. So that's kind of my worry. I mean, I guess you, oh, it's control. Lovely. I guess you could actually try to ban everything. That seems crazy, but I mean, wow. Okay. Well. We'll play a Bristleblood Farmer. Main deck Rest in Peace is, that is an issue. That is a pretty big issue. Hitcha. An opponent. Wow, we have some Duresses in the sideboard. Opponent gonna play a Steam Vents and pass. Well, we will play a land, and I mean, realistically, I think we just play the Uncounterable Worm and attack. I don't know what else we're doing. Just gotta try to beat him down. Get in there. Sack of food. Get another worm. Okay, maybe we just keep hitting worms that can't be countered. Oh my god! Opponent down to 5. That is worm range. That is worm range. Even if they have a Wrath, opponent can sell the star charts. They need to untap in Wrath, but if they untap in Wrath, we get him with the worm. Oh my god, are we going to take him down? Through the Rest in Peace? Opponent. This is a juicy Wrath time. Our Overlord unimpended. Not that it's great against Rest in Peace anyway. Opponent tap land. Ultima. Oh no! Whatever will we do? An opponent ends the turn and ends their life. And, okay. Balustrade Worm. Balustrade Worm doing some work. Yeah, main deck Rest in Peace was brutal. I imagine they'll print UB versions of entire normal sets before giving up on UB. I mean, just so it's clear with this conversation, this is very hypothetical because all the information we have right now is that Universes Beyond is crushing it as far as Magic sets. But I'm talking more of like what could happen in the future, because one thing I know about Wizards is they do have a tendency to sometimes go too far with a good thing and have to reverse course. We've seen this with like the MPL when they were like, oh, we're just going to become a top 5 esport. And then they're like, oops, oopsie daisy. So we've seen it there. We've seen it with card designs. So I do think it's possible that like Universes Beyond is a good idea and a positive for the game, but Wizards goes too far. Arguably, this year might be them going too far with like having more sets be UB than Magic and like the release schedule being so fast. So I think it's possible they go too far. And then it'll be interesting to see what the pullback is. But I do think Magic, like, would be worse without Final Fantasy or Lord of the Rings or Avatar even. But at the same time, I think Magic would be better without Spider-Man or maybe Turtles. We'll see how Turtles turns out. So it'll be interesting. Well, we're up against Control. Wait, what is the... I will say, I think a pullback on the standard changes is way more realistic. Like I'm actually kind of low-key convinced that will happen. I would say that the odds are in favor, in my opinion, that at some point in the next couple of years, they're like, okay, like yes, we're going back to 2-year standard or something like that. Like, I think that is an easy change to undo. That's easier than, like, trying to get cards that exist to not exist. But being like, hey, rotation is happening again, and we only have 2 years of sets legal and standard. Something like that's actually pretty easy to do. Yeah, that we were talking about that earlier, Generator, just how it can be kind of overwhelming for people. Just, like, the sheer number of cards can make it tough to like build decks and stuff just because it gets overwhelming. Is it 3-year standard though? Like each year they're more pushed and the latest designs matter so much more. I mean, I think it's I would say it's a combo, if that makes sense. Like, I think its designs being pushed is definitely part of what makes Standard so powerful and snowbally. But then having, like, we're going to end the year with 20 sets in Standard, when Standard used to be 5 to 8 sets. So just having, like, 2 or 3 times the number of those broken cards also leads to the format being faster and more broken. So I think they kind of play hand in hand, if that makes sense. Like, yes, if you never printed Badger Mole Cubs and VVs, you wouldn't have as many power creep issues. But with us having Standard be 3 times the size, that means there's 3 times as many Badger Mole Cubs and VVs running around as compared to the past usually. Well, let's just Impendent Overlord. Do a little mail-in. Snag us a... I guess we just go... Huh, do we want the Boroid? And let's just take Llanowar. Take the Llanowar. Play the land. Play the Llanowar. Is there anything rotating out of Standard this year? So this year's a weird year in Standard. So the traditional rotation in the summer / early fall, no rotation this year. Next rotation actually happening basically a year from now, if that makes sense, early 2027, presumably January. They haven't announced the date. So no rotation in 2026. However, they're going to have 2 big ban windows instead of just 1. So I think they realize that because there's no rotation again this year and they change the schedule again, that they're probably going to have to ban more cards. So I expect that that's how they handle it, and they're just going to have to double down on banning things because there's no rotation this year. Well, let's do some Duressing. Opponent, rest in peace, stock up. Wow, why didn't they cast it? I guess they just wanted to sit on the no moralize. Well, kind of fine with that. We will, I guess, get down the Ritual Chamber. I think that's even better since I can't interact with it. Get down the Ritual Chamber, make a 6/6. Next turn we can start drawing cards. Yeah, our opponent can cast a bunch of removal and kill something, but that's kind of fine. And they gave up the chance to stock it. Wow, they're going to kill the elves? Okay, opponent just really want to use their mana. Hey, see you, Fluffy Bottoms. Thanks for hanging out. Want to say, pre-modern video with Richard was amazing. I'm so glad you got him to try it. He looked so happy. It was awesome. Oh, yeah, that was super fun. He did really enjoy it. And we have a whole paper, Me vs. Richard series starting soon. So we're going to get to see a lot of fun nostalgic stuff with Richard. Any cards of those spoiled that you were excited about from the TMNT stuff? There's a few that I think are potentially pretty good. I think we have to... Actually, do we? Do we even have to? We could just... You know what? Huh. My impulse is always to draw cards, but a better impulse might be to just kill our opponent. It turns out that maybe winning the game is actually better than drawing a card with Unholy Annex. There's just so much damage. Hit you with a Worm, hit you with the Demon, and now our opponent's in a spot where they need a top deck. Stock up is not that top deck. Let's I'll pull it up. Let's finish this game and I'll pull it up and we can talk about it a little bit. Because there are a few cards that I think could be relevant. An opponent, well, that went super well. I gotta say, our first deck with Aurora Awakener was pretty janky. This deck actually feels like kind of good. I have small sample size, but I think we're 3-1 with it. And it feels reasonable. And it's got some neat synergies. Like the comeback wrong Twilight Diviner stuff is pretty cute. Okay, so Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from the early spoilers, the pre-release spoilers. What are cards that I actually think are interesting? I think the talents look like they're the kind of cards that were designed to be good in constructed format. So I think all the talents are worth keeping in mind. They're not all going to end up being good, and some of them only go in specific decks. But like Leader's talent, 2 mana. Whenever you attack with a creature, whenever you attack, put a +1/+1 counter on an attacking creature. 3 mana to get to level 2. When a creature leaves the battlefield, if it had a counter on it, gain 2 life. 4 mana to get to level 3. Whenever you cast a spell, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. So in some sort of counter stack, it comes down early. It's only 2 mana. It gives you a mana sink. So I think we've just seen talents in Bloomburrow and in past sets be very good. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the talents be good again. Most of the turtle stuff, I think, is actually kind of commander bait for the most part, where maybe like Ralph and Leo, but even that, like 3 mana 2/4. When it attacks, if it's your first combat phase, you can untap 1 or 2 creatures after this phase or additional combat phase. I mean, a 3 mana 2/4 that needs to attack to do something. You need other creatures to really take advantage of it, or I guess you can untap itself, but I don't know. The turtles, I think, mostly seem like cards that have been more or less designed for Commander. Rat King, obviously, if you're doing Rat Colony stuff, is really good. The Ooze, I think the mutagen tokens are going to be interesting with +1/+1 counter synergies. Every time we've seen a trinket token, hey, thank you, Rain Dog, good game. Yeah, the worm is very good against control. But every time we've seen a trinket token, like the artifacts that you can crack for 1 or 2 mana, they've all been good. So I think mutagen token's probably going to be good as well. But the cards that I am most interested in, I think Ravenous Robots is kind of broken. Like 2 mana 2/1. When you cast an artifact spell, you get a 1/1 colorless robot artifact creature token. Pay a red and tap it, give creature tokens haste. We have Pinnacle Emissary in standard. We have weapons manufacturing in standard. Now we're gonna get Ravenous Robots in standard. That is 3 cheap cards that all do the same thing. And that's one thing I've learned about when I learned about Magic is when you have a powerful effect like a Pinnacle Emissary, and now all of a sudden you have 2 of that effect, that often leads to an actual deck. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Ravenous Robots be part of like some sort of artifact deck. The sneak stuff actually seems, oh yes, Pinnacle Emissary is like a modern staple in Affinity. I'm a little bit skeptical that it's good enough for Modern Affinity. Maybe I'm more interested in trying to build something like Modern Affinity in Standard or in Pioneer, but maybe you play a copy or 2 in Modern. It is just slower. Pinnacle Emissary, you do the thing on turn 1. This you gotta wait until turn 2. But I could see playing like a couple of backup copies. People play Weapons Manufacturing in Modern Affinity, and that's 2 mana. It doesn't die to creature removal, but still, so I think there is some shot that you see some of these in Modern. The sneak stuff, I don't know how to evaluate the sneak stuff. It's basically just ninjutsu, but it can work with spells. I love ninjutsu. It's one of my all-time favorite mechanics. A lot of the sneak cards seem good compared to past ninjutsu cards. So maybe we end up with sneak deck. I think that's possible. Although I'm a little bit hesitant because when we had to Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, ninjutsu was one of the big supported mechanics, and we never really ended up with a ninjutsu deck or a ninja deck. So we'll have to see if they're pushed enough. But I do think that the sneak cards seem more pushed than past versions of ninjutsu. Definitely way more pushed than the Spider-Man version of ninjutsu. A Weapons Manufacturing might be my favorite card from Edge of Eternities. I love that card. What do you all think of this card? To me, this card reads like it should be a reanimation target. They could actually be competitive. Like 9 mana 9/9, Flying Trample, Indestructible Haste. Other artifact creatures also have Flying Trample, Indestructible Haste. So like this huge Avacyn / Achroma, but it's colorless. It works with artifact creatures. Yeah, I think you can put it into play with Kona. You can reanimate it. If you have another artifact creature or 2, it can just win the game right away. Mutagen, I think, is intriguing just because making your artifact tokens activated abilities cost 1 less means Clue and Food Sack for 1, Map Sack for 0, Treasures do nothing actually. But I can imagine playing this in an Academy Manufacturer deck, like some sort of combo deck where you're using this to be able to do like the huge Academy Manufacturer stuff, and this lets you just crack your stuff on the cheap so you combo off even better. So I think that card could be interesting there. Northern with Avatar, notable just because it is very rare that you can tutor cards from outside the game. I believe we have 0 cards in Standard that let you tutor from your sideboard, and every time we've gotten them in Standard, Mastermind's Acquisition, what are the, I guess Wish didn't see that much play, but I think Wish saw some play too. But it seems like whenever we get tutor from the sideboard cards in Standard, they end up actually being good in some weird fringe deck. So it's probably gonna have some sort of home. What do you all think of Casey Jones? This is a card we talked about on the podcast yesterday. I have been going back and forth. We do not currently have Blood in Standard. I've been going back and forth. Invasion of Arcavios. Yes, the Lee Eldrazi special. Casey Jones. I've been going back and forth as to whether this card is like a 4 of staple and super busted, or it's going to be completely unplayed. And I still haven't made up my mind. But it's a 3 mana 4/3. When it enters, you draw 3 cards, which is absurd. But then at the beginning of your next upkeep, you have to discard 3 cards at random. I think this card, there's no middle ground here. This card is either like 4 of staple busted, we're seeing it in modern or whatever. Like it's actually like a busted card, or it's a completely unplayable card. You think it's bad? My vision is this. That you play it in some sort of like mono red style deck, right? Where you're going to be running out of cards anyway, where you're just curving out and you're emptying your hand really quick. Or maybe some sort of combo deck where you're emptying your hand really quick. Like, I think a timeless deck, so you're playing Chromox and stuff, and your hand tends to be emptied really quickly. But if you can empty your hand very quickly, you play this, you draw 3, and then you just play those cards before you, like during the turn, play them before your next upkeep, or at instant speed with the discard trigger on this deck. And then if you're empty handed again because you played all the cards, then the discard 3 doesn't really do anything. So I think there is a deck. I think there is a deck where it can work. Nothing is Yusef, but man, brewing with TMT when Lorwyn. I know, Soul Savage. I know. People ask for it. People ask for it. But those are the cards. Those are the cards that I would say I've been most interested in. There's also a cranial plating artifact, which I don't know about a bag of golf clubs. I mentioned this in the intro. Half of it looks like Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, and then half of it's like cool but rude, and just like, to me, cool but rude is pretty cringy. Like, personally, I think just like throwing pizzas at people, it's just like too over the top for me. So to me, it's kind of cringy, but yeah, the stuff coming out like Wizards, I don't know how they managed to do this, but for some reason, people's Lorwyn Eclipsed pre-release packs were full of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cards. So we actually have the whole set spoiled. Or not the whole set, but all the rares and mythics, I believe, are very close to it. We're in Lorwyn Eclipsed pre-release packs. What do you think, chat? Is there any % chance that that was actually intentional? Like, do you think there's any chance that Wizards did that on purpose for marketing and then is essentially just lying about it? Because why would you say that you did it on purpose if it was for marketing? Like, do you think there's any chance that it is a viral marketing attempt by Wizards? Or do you think it is true that it was all a mistake and all by accident? Yeah, on Demir again. Oh, so much Demir. I tend to think that all right. We can put that in the graveyard. I tend to think that actually I think both go in the graveyard. One thing I've seen with Wizards is I feel like incompetence is a very easy answer, and when you have incompetence on top of just trying to make an unprecedented number of sets each year, where you're trying to make 2 times the amount of product that you normally do, it seems reasonable to me that mistakes will actually just happen. I think it would be brilliant marketing if was what was happening, but I think it's actually unlikely that it's the brilliant marketing one and it's actually just someone messed up. Do we expect the Pinkertons again? I don't know who can get Pinkerton this time because as far as I can tell, Wizards kind of did this one to themselves. Like, they're the ones that printed the packs or like hired someone to do it, but still, like, it's their packs that spoiled them. So I don't know how they can get mad at anyone else about that one. Why is everyone playing Demir today? Well, I mean, let's play a Boroid. I mean, maybe new Demir is busted. Well, go to combat, opponent. Do you have removal? Wow. All right. We actually get the Boroid trigger. Well, we will pass the turn. I mean, this means... Oh, this is actually a straight-up fairies deck. All right. Well, sort of. It's still got Cecil in it. It seems like Demir is like... Fairies is kind of Demir and Demir is fairies. And that the actual amount of fairies you play is going to vary on the person. Like, is it Demir mid-range with a couple of fairies? Or is it fairies with some Demir mid-range stuff? I'm actually not sure. If they put a Kaido into play or an Enduring Curiosity, I might have to call shenanigans on fairies. Oh, Flitterwing Nuisance. All right, opponent gets in, hits us. Draws a couple cards. Passes. Well, I mean... We're going to play a land. Oh, we're going to do the cool thing. We're going to try to do the cool thing. Lively Dirge. Come on, no spell snares. No spell spears. Oh. Man, Lively Dirge might actually just be bad now. Lively Dirge, I feel like, are we entering a world where 2-drops are unplayable? We might be entering a world where 2-drops are unplayable, thanks to Spell Snare, which would probably be good if it stops Badger Mulk up, but man, spraying that for 5 mana and getting it countered by Spell Snare is so brutal. It is so brutal. Yeah, we've just played Demir mostly. Another Flitterwing Nuisance. Opponent passes. We draw Molt Tender. Well. Play the Underground Mortuary. Mill the Molt Tender. That's Earthbend up a Verge. Go to combat. I mean, do we just attack? So if we attack, our opponent blocks. I mean, I think we go for it. We're gonna lose something, but we gotta go for it. Enduring Curiosity. Enduring Curiosity. Found it, gonna block. Well, I mean, this is I think game. This deck has a single Aboroid in it. It's literally a one of Lively Dirge target. Found it, land. Found it, gets in. Draws a new handful of cards. Yeah, we just can't beat Enduring Curiosity. Like, we just can't beat it. We can't beat it. Yeah, I mean, we're not gonna win by sitting back. But now our opponent draws a new hand, so they're gonna hit removal. And Bitter Triumph discards a land. And a Kaido to tap down the Verge. And yeah, that does it. Boy. Demir, man, we cannot beat this Demir deck. Are you willing to sell any of your lower budget cards? Hey, Alex! Welcome! Hey, what's up? I've been watching your videos for like 3 weeks. Love your videos. Say thank you. Welcome. So you're looking... What kind of cards are you looking for, Alex? Like, just like random cards? Or are you looking for specific cards? I mean, if you just want like cards, I have more... like bulk cards than I will ever have anything to. I was actually thinking of like, I don't know, doing some videos. I just have like a closet full of boxes of bulk cards that are kind of worthless. And I didn't know if I could do something with a video like, I don't know, You probably do something with thousands of magic cards, like making a pool out of them and swimming in them or something. I don't know. So if you just want actual cheap cards, I have many, many of those. But I don't really sell singles. So if you're looking for singles, I just don't really have the time right now to do like dig around to find a list of singles to sell people, because it just takes too much time, and I'm more focused on the content aspect of stuff. Card Kingdom, yeah, I mean, if you want singles, cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. All right. Huh. So what is our best answer to Enduring Curiosity? I mean, it's not in our deck right now, obviously, but what could we bring in? What could we have in our sideboard that would be good against Enduring Curiosity? Because so far this deck's felt good, but it's also felt like anytime we run into Enduring Curiosity, we just lose. Spellsnare might actually change the format. Spellsnare might actually have a huge impact on the format. You'd love to buy bulk? Well, Alex, send me an email. saffronolive@mtggoldfish.com. Send me an email and I will I'll get in touch with you if you're actually interested in just buying bulk cards, because like I said, I have many, many of those. Vivian is good. Yeah, we really need something that exiles it. That exiles it altogether forever. We need it to be like gone. If you gotta spend two, like, that's what makes it so strong. It's kind of like Fable of the Mirror Breaker in a way, where if you have to spend two removal spells on it, your opponent's kind of winning it anyway. So you need to be able to answer it cleanly with one removal spell. I don't know, maybe go back to bringing in some of the actual like extraction effects. I do like Deadly Cover-Up. I don't know if I really want to wrath my board in this deck with Deadly Cover-Up, but I'll play the land. I guess we just Aboroid, right? Like, that has to be... Our opponent's going to think we're actually an Aboroid deck, because we just always have it on turn 3, even though it's a 1-of, but... Oh, the 1 is pretty good. Oh, it's, hey, Alex, it's, Saffron Olive at mtggoldfish.com. So it is the YouTube name, MTG Goldfish, but with my name in front of it, basically. So Saffron Olive at mtggoldfish.com. Bonnet gets in with the nuisance. I'll play the Boss Thing Say. And let's play the Diviner. Surveil away the Blooming Marsh. The rest we are going to keep. And then, yeah, I think we just go attacking. Get in, hit ya. Down to 18. At some point, we're going to hex. We're going to have to hex away this Flitterwing nuisance, because it is becoming a nuisance. Opponent combat. And getting in. Down 18. So if we duress... Yeah, let's untap. So we draw the duress, play the duress. See what our opponent's working with over there. Oh, it's just, oh my god, that hand. Spell Stare, Spell Stutter. Tashana's Tidebinder, double Enduring Curiosity. Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Well, Huh. Hey, see Alex. That's gonna be a problem. That hand is busted. Which deck do you think gets the biggest glow up from the new Shocklands? I think the easy choice is the Airbending combo deck. I think that's a deck that's really powerful and was more or less being held back by the fact that its mana was so bad. So I think that is kind of the exact kind of deck, at least, that benefits a ton. So I think that deck will get way better. Really, it's 3-color decks that only had one Shockland before, I think, are the biggest beneficiaries. And then there's also some 2-color combinations There's also some 2-color combinations that... So if we attack, they can flash in to Shauna's Tidebinder. Seems not worth it. All right, so we will pass. There's also some 2-color combinations that... that did not have a shock land or a fast land. So if you're a 2-color combination and your only land was like bad but lower rarity lands, a Verge, and a Surveil land, you also benefit quite a bit from getting a shock land. So I think those are the biggest ones about it. Getting it with the Tidebinder. We will take it. Down to 17. Well, let's mill with Moltender. Kind of silly to leave that on top and mill, but on second thought, I don't really want to draw a land. Now we're going to draw land anyway. So if we play this, we get Spell Stuttered. Well, let's play a land. I think we do a little bossing saying. And pass the turn. Man, Cecil's really good too. Maybe Demir's just good. Since we already have shocks in standard, what do you think will happen about Wizards printing untapped? What would you think about Wizards printing untapped fetch lands as well? I think it's pretty unlikely. I think it's pretty unlikely that we get untapped fetch lands. I know last time we had fetches in standard with fetchable duels, and maybe this doesn't apply anymore because decks are already so expensive, but that was the Jace Friends Prodigy standard where decks spiraled up to being incredibly expensive, and that was like the biggest reason was the mana base. You gonna spell stutter? We can pay. You have 0 fairies, so we just have to pay 2, right? Yeah, I mean, we will pay 2. Exile a card. Pay the 2. I guess we take the Bossing Say. Draw the Bossing Say. Play the land away. I mean, this game, maybe we've gotten off to a fast enough start that we can actually stop the Enduring Curiosities. Like, if our opponent just attacks here and then flashes an Enduring Curiosity, I think we just take and smash him back for even more. Wow, we get a couple mana. Play a Bristleblood Farmer. Get a bit of food. And I think we keep bossing saying Earthbend on the Verge. And pass the turn. I mean, next turn we get to trample up the team, as long as our opponent can't stop this Summer Esper Mountain. Quantum Cobbler. Decks are already 1,000, yeah. I couldn't imagine. We would actually have, like, modern. People have said that standard is old modern now. I've heard people say that, and I think that's, like, in some ways true, just with how many cards are in the card pool. And we're kind of heading towards old modern prices in some ways. Do you have a Tidebinder opponent? Oh, you don't. Okay. Well, I mean, in that case, I think we have to try to just win here. Let's go to combat. Let's do a bit of attacking. Sack the food. Get a forest. Opponent. Wait, do we actually... Are we going to get a game off Demir? We might actually get a game off Demir. Opponent Enduring Curiosity. They don't know about the Bitter Triumph, so we can blow out their math. So that's 4. 3. So that's... Okay, 7, 12, 16. So if we kill this, opponent takes 4, 9... 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That literally puts our opponent to 1. Oh, do we need to... Well, we didn't have the mana, huh? All right. Actually, do we do this even? Is this even worth it? On second thought. So if we do nothing, our opponent loses their board and takes, what, 9 and 4? So takes 13? You know what? I guess that's fine. I guess that's sure. Sure. Well, I guess one way to get through Enduring Curiosities is just to attack into them. Oh, no. It would have worked. I forgot about the Cecil damage. Oh, no. Oh, if we lose, okay. If we lose that, I will accept the pun. Okay, opponent scoops it up. I forgot about the Cecil damage. Oh, all that for nothing. I need to give you something to yell about. Hey, what's up, Guile? How are you? Yeah, I think there are kinds of fetches that you could print. It's mostly, if you end up printing fetch lands that let you get untapped dual lands, they're just going to be a lot of 5-color decks. And what happened last time is mana bases were like 12 or 13 fetch lands, and then like 10 fetchable dual lands and a few basic lands. And with the price of fetch lands and dual lands, you were just spending like $400 or $500 on your mana base for a deck. It got rough. I mean, we got there. We got there. All right. Can we take down Demir? Can we finish off the stream by taking down... Oh, no. Not with this hand. By taking down our nemesis. Oh, this hand is also not good, but I'm not going to 5. This hand's functional. It's just very land heavy. Well, we will see. Opponent. Land. Well, we will draw more lands, and we will keep it on Holy Annex. Getting that down would be huge. That is the way we can draw cards. Maybe we just need to splash blue. Wow, opponent is very much a believer in Spell Snare. I feel like our opponent did not play Flitterwing on turn 1 because they wanted to leave up Spell Snare. Opponent land. Combat gets it. Hits us down to 19. Well, play the land, and... yeah, we gotta do it. Unholy Annex. Doesn't get spell snared. Please? Okay. Alright. Well, we got the Annex down for now. Opponent's gonna run out of Tidebinder. Untaps. Land. Okay, they're gonna do the Flitterwing thing. I mean, this is still bad. They still get to draw 2 cards, but it's better than just dropping an Enduring Curiosity. That much is for sure. Oh no. Oh, we have just drawn only lands this game. All right, well, we get to draw, please, non-land. Oh God. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, 8 out of 11. That is way more lands than you typically want to draw. By a bit. A bit more than we were hoping for. I mean, we gotta try to do something. Thankfully, we have extra lands in hand. Hey, what's up, Kig? Welcome. Yeah, thankfully, Tidebinder is a temporary answer. It just fizzles it for a turn. Well, I mean, I think this is the only thing that makes sense, trying to level this up. Make the 6/6. Opponent. Gonna turn on their land. And what do you have, a 1-mana answer to a 6/6 flyer? Wow, they do. And they get to Blight on the Flitterwing Nuisance, so they get to draw cards again. Man, that is rough. About it gets in. This Flitterwing Nuisance has been very impressive. I mean, they did kind of just give Demir more Enduring Curiosities, which I'm not sure that's what Demir needed. What or how much money would your opponent have to ante to get you to play Magic with your beard as the ante? Oh, yeah, this game is sadly over. Demir, well, one thing we learned is apparently Demir's everywhere. It would be a huge number, Cat Cam fan, because I really like my beard. It would be an unrealistically high number. It would be a number that's so high that no one would ever do it because I don't want to lose my beard. So it would actually be like, I don't know. It would be an insanely high number. I mean, like, I don't know. In the hundreds of thousands, probably. It would have to be a very big number because I would just rather have my beard. If it was really to like risk shaving off my beloved beard that I've had for my whole life, essentially, my whole adult life, it would have to be so much money that I didn't care. So it would have to be, no one would do it. It would be so high that no one would ever do it. The only other way I've always said, if I was ever going to do it, it would have to be some sort of charity thing. And it wouldn't just be like a normal charity stream or whatever. It would have to be some big charity theme. That would be the other way that would make me consider like putting the beard on the line. But wow. So what do we learn about these decks today in Lorwyn Standard? So Lorwyn Standard, it looks like Demir. It looks like Demir's on the upswing. That is, and this is very early, the set just went live, but my impression of today is that we're not going to see fairies be a deck. We're going to see Demir. We're going to see Demir, currently the third most played deck in the format. We're going to see Demir adapt a couple of the best fairies, and that Demir's probably going to get way better. Flitterwing Nuisance is a 1-mana, 1-shot enduring curiosity, seemed very good. Bitterbloom Bears seemed very good, and Demir's already one of the best decks. So I feel like because we live in a world where Is It Lessons basically got nothing, Simic Aboroid, I don't know if Simic Aboroid really got that much either. It might be Demir that is the biggest winner out of the tier decks. As far as our decks, Aurora Awakener, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some kind of Aurora Awakener on a deck on Against Odds eventually. Twilight Diviner actually felt pretty good, but we need to figure out some sort of answer to Demir, something to deal with Enduring Curiosities. But Twilight Diviner Comeback Wrong did some really cool things, but wasn't Demir the most played? Demir became the most played deck briefly right after they banned Vivi, which was right around or before when Avatar, I think it was right before when Avatar released, right? November 11th. So I think it was like the week before Avatar released. But yeah, basically they banned Vivi. Everyone was like, oh my God, Demir's going to be the best deck. And it turned out that Demir was a good deck, but it wasn't actually the best deck because, Avatar was a very strong set with a Badger Cub and then the lesson package. So Demir ended up finding himself in like number 3 position essentially out of the big decks. Or I don't know. I consider like maybe these two are like, I don't know how you want to break down the tiers. There's no S tier deck, but there's like 3 to 5 like very good decks that are tier 1 to 1.5. And Demir's right in the middle, but I feel like Demir got way more than any of the rest of these decks out of the new set thanks to the fairy stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Demir climbing the ranks a little bit moving forward. But anyway, everyone, I believe, yes, everyone chip in $1,000 and we'll shave I'm sure if you're gonna do that, I think if we can find something better for you to spend the money on, I swear we can. Anyway, everyone, I think that brings us to the end of our stream for today. So reminders on the way out the door: replay YouTube for the old streams, normal YouTube. We're doing some mirror forming for Against Odds tomorrow, and it's actually pretty sweet. And one more shout out to our sponsor, Card Kingdom. If you need some magic cards, you can make cardkingdom.com/mtdgoldfish. Most importantly, thank you to all of you. I love you all. Cat Cam fan, no, everyone else, thanks for hanging out. Have an amazing day. Have a great week, and I'll see you next week to do it all again. So until then, be good, everyone. Stay safe. I love you all, and I will talk to you soon.